pain, or right, full screen.
Well, I say every day it's a getting closer to taking a bath with my fucking toaster.
God, that's so tempting.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the 53rd episode of Screaming Into the Void, where we talk about whatever the hell we feel like. And today, we're just gonna kind of have a chill session. Welcome. With me starting off today, we have some other people coming in. They're running late. The Hijabi Gamer.
Peace all. Hello, it's Saturday. And unfortunately, I have a toaster oven, so I can't. It's too big. It's too big.
Okay. And joining us today, we have Joker Boys.
Hello. After what I put myself through earlier,
right.
I'm ready to just be a little chill. What's up, Luna girl? I'm ready to just be chill and possibly drink those horrors away that I had to watch.
Yeah.
Which one was it you saw?
Does it matter?
Flash.
Does it matter?
Well, I hear The Flash isn't as bad as Indie Flash.
No, it's worse.
He watched
worse?
Ezra Miller Flash.
Oh, Habibi, why you hate yourself so much?
I do this so people don't have to. I provide a invaluable service.
What he's not telling everybody is that he's also a cutter.
I was gonna say, I mean, there's some movies at this point you don't even need to watch. No one's gonna watch it anyway.
And really, no one is.
Right.
I looked at the numbers prior to going for Friday International, less than $50,000.
No.
Fair enough. That's
That's
Ouch.
impressive.
That's not good.
Impressive.
Before we get too deep into that, let's say hello to the chat. Let everybody know we are currently simulcasting on 4 YouTube channels. Obviously, mine, Samuel the Infamous, and in the description of the video on my channel, you will find the links for everybody that you see here and some other people who may or may not show, as well as you know what? I forgot to put the thing in about. Let me double check something real quick, JB.
Okay.
I did. I forgot to put in the thing about your thing,
Gotcha.
but it'll be in there at some point. I'll add it in.
Cool.
And then we're also on Joker's channel, Cat's channel, Ryan's channel, and Brian's Twitter.
I gotta learn how to do that.
We're
Chris
on
Barge.
Twitter today.
What's up, man?
So
Bush, hello.
yeah, let's say hello to people coming in. Like Queen Lala was here right at the beginning. We the best. Yeah, well, I appreciate that. New mod on my channel. Great mod on Amira's channel. She's fantastic. I see Boa in the chat. Good to see you. Jacob Ironside. Hello. I think we followed each other recently on Twitter, actually.
Okay.
I don't know who this fucker is, but you know.
Oh my god. I've heard he's a bit of a troll. I would block him immediately.
He's a clown.
Shadow is here. Shadow is here.
Clown.
I have a thing for Shadow. Shadow knows what this thing is, except that after I showed it yesterday, it got an update.
Can't wait.
So we're gonna show the update.
$20 is $20, but I'm gonna need the money up front, big boy.
Oh, Twinkerbell!
You can all thank Kohai Masochist for that. She's mod on my channel. She does all of my memes for me. She is a fantastic person. She actually does quite a bit of my other stuff too. But she's fantastic, and she loves picking on Shadow of Hawk. So, as do to a degree we all. He's a good kid though. He knows we love him. But you know, like most things we love, we beat it like a redheaded stepchild.
True.
As these things go. Yeah, so we've got a lot of people in chat right now. So I will attempt to catch all of you and say hello. If I miss somebody, just yell at me. Kind of thing. So yeah, let's see. I got Kohai, I got Boa, Lunar Girl, Lunar Girl.
Lunar.
Okay, yeah,
That's
greetings,
cool.
welcome. Hey, Zillage, good to see you. We've got Glenn Bush. Oh, and here we got somebody coming into the stream. Maybe there he is. All right.
We got UA.
Greetings, Ryan. Jet
What up?
Sparks. Good to
Jet
see you.
Sparks.
Captain Fandom.
Captain
UA.
Fandom Nerd, how are you, my friend? Long time no here.
Yeah. You know how it goes, UA. Good to see you too. I haven't seen you in a little bit. Connie Cleary. Hi.
What's up,
Welcome.
Connie?
Hi.
Connie's nice people too. There's Sasquatch. Good to see you, buddy.
Sexiest voice on the internet, as always.
He sometimes
Hello,
dips in on
Sasquatch.
the panel
That's
here,
right.
and he
Gonna
does
show
indeed
you
have the
that.
sexiest voice in the internet. In fact, in the intro, with the little song number, that is his voice.
That's why I can't resist the urge to throw a toaster in. It's that voice. It's like, oh my god, I have to listen to exactly what it says.
Private One, good to see you. All right. So Ryan, how you doing? I just figured I'd greet him since he came in the middle of greeting the chat.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I
Have you seen
apologize.
the update?
What update?
Oh,
Excuse
wait
me.
a minute.
All right,
Wait,
we'll play it
wait.
again. Sorry, Shadow.
$20 is $20, but I'm gonna need the money up front, big boy.
Yeah, that's right. She got a hold of me after the show yesterday and made it worse.
That's awesome.
No, not worse, better.
Yeah, better. No, I'm good. I felt kind of bad because I dipped out so fast last night. As you guys know, I'm going to be moving by the end of the month. Well, cleaning some stuff out, I found some leftover bottle of some sauce, and so I had a little sauce last night too. And I haven't had any in a long time, and I was like, well, at the end of it, I was done. I was like, I gotta go. I'm like, I'm tired.
Sauce?
I'm falling asleep. Yeah, sauce.
I'm guessing you mean alcohol.
Yeah. I didn't think I had any left in the house, but it's been so long since I've had a drink. I was like, it's not gonna be a big deal. So I was like, fuck it. It's the weekend, so yeah. And then I was so tired. And I was like, I just gotta go. I gotta eat something. I gotta go to bed. I'm exhausted. And
I only drink on days that end in Y.
There you go.
Oh, okay. I'm impressed by your self control. Just days that end in Y.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
I
so that
felt
can't be easy.
bad because I just like dipped out. I was like,
Hey, Spartan, good to see you. I mean, it's hard to tell sometimes with him. The only time I ever noticeably knew that Ryan was drunk, he told me he was drunk when he was coming in, and or that he was sobering up anyway. And then he spent like an hour yelling at Kat because she wasn't on camera and she didn't have a profile picture up on StreamYards, and he kept screaming at her about that nipple on her screen.
I knew you were talking about that one.
That was a fun night though. It was a good show.
It was
We had
hilarious.
a bunch of people show up and just like we
I
went
think
nuts.
Nomi was a little drunk too, wasn't she?
Oh yeah, she was. I'm not even sure she was quite home from the bar yet.
Yeah. Oh wait,
Makes
Queen
it
Lala.
better.
Yeah, my first name is really hard to pronounce, so cat is great, and that's why. It's just because my first name is so hard to pronounce, and I have a cat.
It's really just the first letter.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Arabic.
Mm-hmm.
So
It might come as a shock to all of you. I have some shocking revelation coming out of the closet here. I'm an Arab American. Yeah, I'm an
Out of the
Arab
closet?
American. Yeah, I'm admitting it now. I'm coming forward. I'm an Arab American. If you didn't know.
And furthermore, she's a YouTuber who doesn't go by her given name. It's shocking, I know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry.
It's,
just-
I
I'm so
laugh
horrible.
because I don't go by my given name either. So
I go
It
by
is-
mine, so my
yeah, that's
mine's boring.
well,
Oh, yeah,
no, it's not. I mean, it's great for Grinder and all.
Actually, Ryan, I
Fucking
know
jealous.
so many Ryans that
I
I
am.
don't know. It's no longer unique. That and Jeremy.
Dempsey.
Hey, buddy, sorry
Hey,
you're
what's
not
up,
feeling
bud?
well.
Sorry, bud.
Yeah.
I see Johnny the Whiz Kid.
Yeah, I do. Send me a message on Twitter because I don't want to put it out in public. At Hijabi Gamer or I think it's what is your chat?
That
Yeah,
would
at Gamer Hijabi.
That would require you to respond to your Twitter cat.
Yeah.
She does sometimes.
Yeah.
If you catch her in the right, like if you catch her like right at dawn or dusk, she usually responds.
Yeah, when the stars are aligned.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's more my thing anyway. What are you doing?
I know, but all right, the one that Samuel I just put it. All right, that's at Gamer Hijabi. Yeah, or just look up like corporate marketing director. I'm the only corporate marketing director on Twitter.
Yeah,
Oh my God, her real name isn't Lala.
No, no, it's not. We all have pseudonyms here on YouTube. It's kind of half the half the reason we're on here is the anonymity, I think.
Jacob.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really that anonymous.
I mean, you know,
Well, Buster
live your truth, I guess.
Yeah.
Buster goes by her name. It's Buster. Her name is Buster.
That's because cats don't care. They're just like, you feed me and then die so I can eat your eyeballs.
Basically.
That's pretty much the whole thought process that a cat has regarding people.
Which after what I had to see today, I wouldn't mind a cat eating my eyeballs ever again.
Okay, Buster,
right.
Are you hungry, girl? I got
Lord,
eyeballs
so-
for you.
Obnoxious.
JV is clearly itching to talk about it and make the rest of us suffer alongside him. So,
You know what? I'm just following the model of this guy right here.
Yeah.
The masochistic model of I hate
Rings
myself.
of Power, Velma. This guy is just.
What means season 2's coming out? Who's excited?
No one.
So much.
No one. Absolutely. I don't think a single person on the planet, except maybe the Mindy Kaling, is excited.
I don't even.
No, even I don't
What's up,
think
Alaska
she's
Jeff?
excited.
Alaska Jeff, how you doing, buddy?
Hey,
you
Alaska
watch-
Jeff.
Okay, Alaska Jeff is the guy who is who he and JT are responsible for my design for my new shirts.
Yep.
Oh,
I think
cool.
I've seen some of your
cool.
work for Geeks and Gamer stuff too, if I remember correctly.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
did like the intro video for the Frost Maiden on their tabletop channel, which I do watch because I like tabletop. I think tabletop is fun.
Right.
yeah.
Well, to answer your question, Jeff, this is a weekly Saturday afternoon show where we talk about whatever the hell we feel like, and sometimes it gets a little nuts, sometimes it's pretty chill, sometimes we just spend the whole time gay bashing Ryan.
That's true. It has
I'm about to say you can't bash the willing.
Did you ever watch a show on Netflix called Northmen or Norsemen?
No.
No.
Okay, so it came out around the same time Vikings did, except that it was actually made in Norway by Norwegians, and they filmed it twice, once in English and once in Norse. So they refilmed it in each language so that when instead of dubbing, you get the language like they're actually speaking the words, which was a very cool idea. And it's a comedy that's sort of making fun of Viking culture, but also making fun of the Vikings show. And there's a bit where the substitute chieftain, because his brother has gone off to raid. Anyway, long story short, he's a little on the swishy side, and so he dresses up like a girl to get away from these invaders, and they catch him. And of course, you know what Vikings do to girls.
Yeah.
And so this is happening to him. But then later he claims it's not really rape if you start like pushing back, because then it's like I'm raping the raper, so that makes me the raper. It's so messed up, but it's really funny.
Interesting logic there.
That is an interesting logic.
He's like at a certain point it just becomes uncomfortable for the other guy, and then I'm in charge.
Whoa.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've actually what was it Andre from the Midnight's Edge, when he was talking about the Northman film, he was talking about what the Vikings would do prior to a siege of a town or something, and he's like, nope, that's accurate. They would get stoned out of their mind and basically run, kill, and rape with reckless abandon.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Which-
we got Bo's. I mean, it's all about your sense of humor, man. It's just a TV show. It's not a real thing, and they're making fun of historical Viking culture made by descendants of the Vikings. So, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I think the show's hilarious. There's a bit about horns on helmets, because that whole thing about the Vikings had horns on their helmets. Well, they didn't. That's a myth. But so this guy comes up and he's got horns and he's attached them to his helmet, and they're just like, "What the hell is that?" And he's like, "Well, this is ordinarily just a helmet, but if you add something to it, a little flair, a little something, then it becomes more than that. It becomes a statement. It's fashion." And they're just like, "Okay, see you on the boat."
Okay, this actually sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty. I would recommend it. The first 2 seasons anyway. The third one is kind of like prequelish, and it gets weird, and it's a little less funny. But the first 2 are pretty good, and there's some really good characters in it. So I would recommend it. But if it's both, that's not your thing. Don't go check it out. I get it. Carrie, yes, as always, late and gay.
I like satirical stuff if it's making fun of history. You know what, so there was the movie 10,000 BC came out, of course, and then of course, like a year later or something, there was that movie kind of making fun of it. It was Year One with Jack Black, and I actually thought that was pretty funny. So it's I'm okay with satirical stuff when it comes to poking fun at history, but
Yeah,
it's the change. Sorry, my bad.
Zillage, it is a myth. It actually comes from their myths. Some of their gods were described as having fantastically adorned, armor and helmets and stuff like that.
Like
But the people
Loki.
themselves never really did. Well, sure.
I don't know. I'm Egyptian.
Yeah.
Stupid Egyptian.
They didn't have.
I'm
horns.
just going to put this out here, Kat, because I am going to just take a wild leap and assume that your exposure to Norse mythology has mostly been through Marvel.
Probably.
What about God of War?
Also incorrect.
Yeah.
Wildly incorrect, actually, because so
betrayed.
in Marvel, how Loki is Thor's adopted brother and adopted son of Odin. It's not like that. He's also not the son of Kratos and all of that stuff. And Laufey or Faye in God of War is actually a dude. So it is what it is. Loki is the blood brother of Odin. He's not Thor's brother at all.
Correct.
Well, that's in the movies.
And he's not half anything. He's full on frost giant, son of Laufey. And Laufey was the son of Ymir, whose body was struck down to help build.
You're dashing her hopes, sir.
I know. Look, it's incorrect. All
Are
the
you
stuff that you hear
telling
about it
me
in pop
everything
culture
I
is
see in
incorrect.
video games is lies?
Thor's a redhead, for that matter.
Well,
With a
actually,
beard.
Legolas isn't blonde. Legolas has brown hair.
Well, Legolas, it comes from a novel that was written in the last century. I'm talking about stuff that comes from thousands of years ago.
No, well, most people think because of Orlando Bloom that Legolas is blonde. Legolas is a wood elf, so he actually, and there's a description where it says his head is dark.
You shut your filthy mouth about Orlando Bloom.
This is true, Shadow. This is true. Loki did mother a horse. In particular, he mothered Sleipnir, the 8-legged horse and steed of Odin. And he did so by turning into a mare to lure away the workhorse of the giant who built the wall that protected Asgard. And he got knocked up in his female form and had the horse, and then refused to talk about it forever after because it was embarrassing to him. He also had 5 other kids. As a father,
the one is Hell, right?
One of them
yeah.
is a snake.
One is Hel, one is Jormungandr, the world serpent. One is Fenrir's
Yep.
wolf. And Hel, Jormungandr, and Fenrir's wolf all have the same mother, Angrboda, who is who's one of the Jotuns of Jotunheim. And they're all three monstrous children. They're all siblings, but they all look nothing alike. Like Hel is looks like a little girl on one half of her body, and the other half just looks like a little girl's skeleton.
Whoa, Loki, you are
It's
nuts.
really dark stuff. Plus, he has two other Vanir sons, I believe, by a Vanir goddess. I don't remember what their names are though, because they're not really important to the myths. The other three do come up. So, yeah, long story short, pop culture lies to you about that stuff. And the horns on the helmets come from the myths, not the people. You know?
It's all a lie.
So, hi, Maria Kitty. Josh Watson, good to see you. So, it's just one of those things that...
You're going to write this down. You got a scorecard to keep now.
Wait, there are plenty of things that I will talk about that I know nothing about, but I will talk out my ass. Mythology is one of those things that I actually know a fair bit about. So, anyway, you got flashed.
I got flashed. Dear God in heaven.
It's a lot of Ezra Miller.
There's too much.
It's all the Ezra Miller and then some.
There's a scene.
It's the full Ezra.
It's full Ezra.
Oh, it's a lot of Ezra Miller.
I mean, it's like 99% Ezra with the 1% you don't want to see ever, and no.
Because Chris Gord liked it.
I mean,
no, he said. I think he said he liked the first 20 minutes of it or so.
That's Indiana Jones. No, he gave it like the second half. He gave it like a 7, and the first half he gave like a 7 to 8. He was going on about how he grew up with Batman.
Oh, it's okay. It's because he liked the Keaton Batman stuff.
See, I didn't like how they did that in the beginning. That bugged me. I'm like, what? Because we have to honestly deconstruct another character.
Mm-hmm. Real quick before you get into like too much detail, if anybody hasn't seen this movie, and I get that you haven't because it just came out, there may be some spoilers depending on how.
Oh, there will be.
How much JV wants to get into the nitty gritty of Ezra.
I mean, I don't. I honestly don't, because the dialogue was cringy as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Visually, Ezra can't run ever. He looks terrible.
No, he runs like a female palsy victim.
Yeah, basically. Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong?
No, not at all.
Right. I think Ryan. I broke Ryan.
Pretty much.
Is that why he goes by they them? Because he runs like a girl?
Wow, you did break him. Holy crap. That's awesome. No, it's okay. This is supposed to be, this is like a storyline salad that is just thrown everywhere. Yeah. So this is supposed to be a Flashpoint story. It has nothing to do with Flashpoint. The only thing it has is a chair that Barry sits in to regain his speed powers. You don't have Superman. You have Supergirl, which has the same story beats as Red Sun and Injustice 2. So it's just all over the place. And at the end, it turns out the entire Zod story beat was unnecessary, because the real antagonist of this film is the Flash.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've also got
the only reason you see Zod again is because they go back in time. He goes back in time.
Right.
He's not even brought back. It's so cheap.
there's some stuff there that doesn't make sense to me as far as like why Zod's even there in the first place. Because the whole reason he shows up on Earth in Man of Steel is because Kal-El sets off the beacon in the ancient Kryptonian colony ship, and that draws him. Like they've already escaped the Phantom Zone, but he explains they've been bouncing from system to system looking for any remnants of their civilization, and they get this beacon. They're like, oh well, there's something there, and that's the only reason that Zod even finds Earth in the fucking first place. So if Kal-El is not in this movie, if Superman is not in this movie, there's no reason for Zod to be there at all.
Because in this film, Kara and Kal-El leave Kandor and Krypton. Zod captures Kal-El's pod. They do experiments and kill him.
Yeah, you're going further into detail than I was going to, but yeah, it's not good. It's really not good.
And there's these really bad CGI cameos.
Oh, the CGI is horrendous.
It's
That's
awful.
what I've heard too.
So you get to see George Reeves, Superman, the black and white. You get to see Adam West as the Bat. You saw Ben for about 10 seconds, right in the beginning of the film. You get a horrible looking Christopher Reeve Superman.
That's the one that made me the most angry.
You got the Supergirl, which I forget who played her, and then you get the Superman that no one saw ever, but it was supposed to happen, the Nick Cage Superman.
Yep.
And then, at
Jesse.
the end,
Go ahead.
well, and then at the end, you get the George Clooney Bruce Wayne.
What?
Yeah, apparently he shows up in a cameo.
And
which is fine because they had fucking Nick Cage, but whatever.
Wookie!
So Alaska
like
Jeff says it would have been great if during Flashpoint he transformed into the Flash from CW. I kind of get that, but I think that they probably should have left Flashpoint alone because that whole story depends on very specific characters and very specific events in order to unfold at all. And they left some of that shit out.
Aquaman.
Wonder Woman and Aquaman need to be in it. Thomas Wayne Batman has to be in it. Yellow Flash or the Reverse Flash or Professor Zoom has to be in it. He's the goddamn catalyst.
Right.
Wonder Woman was in it
for about 2 seconds. And it was cringy as fuck.
But wasn't it?
Yeah, it was cringe as fuck, and that really irritates me because I actually like Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. I like her as much as Henry Cavill as Superman. Even though we didn't get Henry Cavill as Superman, I still think he did a really good job. I would have loved to see him be the classic Superman.
Fuck the Snyderverse.
Hey, I don't. It's about the actor. If he had a better written
Man of
script,
Steel.
I think Henry Cavill could have been a good Superman. He was not given proper materials to do so.
No, he wasn't.
Man of Steel was a decent superhero film. It's a terrible Superman film.
No, it wasn't a good superhero movie. It was not a good movie.
Oh, speaking of Henry Cavill, did you see the new trailer for the clip of The Witcher just dropped today?
I don't have that much bleach, Ryan.
Yeah. It'd have been kind of nice if Geralt would have been in it. Like,
oh wow,
the majority of it.
Okay. I'm just gonna.
It opens with a lot of woman power.
Shocking.
And this is I don't know why you're saying that, Kat. We knew that was going to happen.
Right.
They fucking told us that was going to happen.
Yeah,
but I'm getting sick of it.
The ladies running and gunning, and you just see Geralt in the back in the slow motion. He's just carrying his sword, walking slowly, and I'm like, yeah, because that's what Geralt would do. Let the ladies just running ahead of him. Get out of here! I'm so. Ugh.
Yeah.
Why?
You just can't take the shit stink off of this crap that they give us anymore. You just can't do it. Anyway, how's everybody Saturday?
Well, it was okay. I was doing.
It's good now.
Playing a little business.
I mean, if you want to watch the clip, it's on Twitter.
I don't want to watch any of that shit.
No.
I didn't look. I'm going to say this about The Witcher. I know a lot of people were fans of Henry Cavill as Geralt, and I know a lot of people really enjoyed that first season. I didn't. I didn't even watch the second season. I did not like the first season. I did not enjoy it. I thought it was convoluted, and they did like there was no clear distinction between characters that don't age and characters that do age. So when they jump back and forth, willy nilly between timelines and shit, because from what I understand, they spliced a bunch of short stories together to make that season. Like it's really hard to track, and I don't know, maybe it's because I didn't read the books, but I didn't like The Witcher at all, so I stopped watching it back then. It had nothing to do with any girl power stuff. I was like, oh, this show isn't good, and I'm not going to watch it anymore.
I'm just tired of the girl power shit at this point. I'm freaking fed up with the whole thing. It's getting really, really stupid and really, really annoying, and it does nothing for it.
Yeah, so. I don't know. I guess, I mean, I liked all the boobs in the first season, but that's because I'm, dude. And there were a couple of action sequences early on. There's one right I think it's in the very first episode where Geralt just like takes apart a bunch of dudes with his sword, and that was cool. That was very well choreographed, and I enjoyed that. But after that, like hell, even at the end of the first season, he's pretty much out cold for the whole last episode.
Oh my god! Isn't the Witcher the main character? Just playing devil's advocate here. Isn't the Witcher the main character?
From what I understand, he's sort of the main character. The Witcher title also refers to Ciri, like in the books. Like she's just as important as he is, if not more so. But they didn't focus on her or him so much as they focused on this Yennefer character, who I understand is also very important, but maybe not like take over the whole show important. So, but yeah, it's just, I mean, maybe that's just me. So
I'm just surprised that the women have boobs. You said that
no, that's just in the first season. They cover them up real good in the second. Oh. But yeah, everybody's naked in the first season. There's a lot of nude Cavill too.
Yeah, no, the nudity basically gets mostly scrapped for the second season, and I have a feeling there's going to be like none in the third. The 2-part third season, by the way,
that no one's going to watch because nobody cares.
Well, basically, it got the same treatment as Altered Carbon did before it. That first season was a banger. It was awesome. It was, there was a lot of violence, a lot of nudity, but it was also full of good characters that were very rich. And then you get to that second season, and man, that was an intersectional nightmare of a mess. Not to mention the fact that I read all of the books in between the first and second season of Altered Carbon, and chronologically, nothing that happens in the second season makes any goddamn sense.
Well, about The Witcher too, Henry Cavill leaving. Not to mention the two female leads that work alongside him. They were blindsided by it. They're like, wait, we didn't know he was leaving. We're really sad he's leaving. We don't want him to go. Yeah, they put out there was an article about it not too long ago. The fact that they're sad to see Henry Cavill go. And I think the girls see, they've never said a mean thing about him.
No.
All this Me Too toxic masculinity crap that came from the showrunner, Lauren Hissrich, that Henry Cavill's difficult to work with. Well, that article seems to disagree because the ladies are sad he's leaving. So it's like, obviously he was doing something right. So I have a feeling that once this comes out, why the show is going to bomb after season 3, and season 3 is going to bomb because there's been so many people who are not going to watch it because they know Henry Cavill's leaving. I don't think there's going to be a season 4. They say there's going to be a season 4, and they've been putting it out there. There's going to be a season 4. I don't buy it.
Not happening. No,
I don't buy it.
No,
if there's no Henry Cavill, there's no season 4. I'll tell you that right now.
Boy, there are never enough nude heroes.
One nude hero I could have did with was Black Widow, but we never got that.
Aside, I grew up with like Frank Frazetta and Boris Vallejo paintings and artwork, and read a lot of stuff by Robert E. Howard. A lot of sword and sandal stuff. Nobody wears clothes in those. They just beat the shit out of each other naked.
I mean, Greek, the Greeks, doing the Olympic Games and stuff. They would wrestle each other naked, like because it's hard to get a hold of somebody when you're naked, So you don't want clothes, It's one reason that they wear that tight spandex when kids nowadays wrestle in high school and stuff. They got gear for a reason. So, but yeah, no, the Witcher season 4 of The Witcher is not even going to happen. It's dead on arrival.
Yeah.
They can say
there's
all
no
they
interest
want.
for it. There's no interest for it, especially not without Cavill. Cavill was the driving reason anybody went to see that show.
Oh, absolutely, because he's a massive fan.
They had a couple of things come out of that really pushed him up, like the music, for instance, got a lot of attention on that show. And that sort of thing. And some of the performances by some of the other actors are really good, at least in that first season that I saw. But anybody, like, I'd never heard of anybody else who was in it besides Cavill.
Yeah. No,
and I watch a lot of garbage, So I'm not saying that they're all in garbage. I'm just saying I watch a lot of stuff, and I've never heard of any of those people besides Cavill. Hell, I haven't known Cavill that long either. I think Man of Steel was my first introduction to him by name, like where I remembered who he was as the actor. I had apparently been watching his stuff long before that. You guys might not know this, but Henry Cavill was in Hellraiser 8.
Excuse me for a second. I have cats to be.
He's gonna go punish some pussy, guys. Anyway, he's so he goes back that far. He's quite a bit younger. He's also in Stardust with Charlie Cox, which I didn't recognize him there either because he's blonde with a mustache, and speaks with his actual accent. And then he was in was it Immortals with
I believe so.
Yeah, that was the one with Mickey Rourke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, movie based loosely on Theseus and the Minotaur.
Correct.
Pretty good stuff, kind of gritty. Very highly stylized in sort of a 300 sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
But I had no idea who he was at the time. I just watched the movie and enjoyed it. So it turns out I have seen his stuff prior to The Witcher and to him playing Superman and all that stuff. But I didn't know him I didn't recognize him as Henry Cavill at the time. I just saw the characters. So. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if anybody else has any thoughts on that. I kind of went off for a little bit. Sorry.
No, it's a little bit. What's up, Brandon? Looney Tunes fan, 2000. What's up, buddy?
Hey, welcome to the show. Yeah, YouTube is falling on its own sword. It's it is what I think they're trying finally to take steps to retain YouTubers because they are hemorrhaging, frankly, to places like Rumble and Odyssey and that sort of thing. Less so Odyssey, but people are going to find other places to be on because of their policies. Their policies are kind of garbage.
Good job, Brandon.
Yeah. So, just one second. All right. Sorry, folks. I was looking at something here in the background. It is what it is. So, where the hell did Ryan go? Oh, he had to go punish his pussy.
Oh shit! I thought I put myself back on screen. Sorry.
No.
I sent. Yeah, my bad, dude. I even said something too, and you guys didn't hear me.
No, couldn't hear a word. You were muted, blocked out, all that kind of thing. But,
That's
anyway,
funny.
Point being, long story short, I like Cavill. I think that Cavill was done dirty by Snyder. Not so much Cavill, but Cavill was done dirty by Warner Brothers. Superman was done dirty by Snyder.
Yes,
Henry Cavill has been dirty by numerous organizations.
Yeah.
And it's fucking horseshit.
He needs to find a new agent if he hasn't already.
Yeah, it's The Rock's ex-wife.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He needs to find a new agent.
Yeah. The Rock is always going to be first priority. I mean, that's the father of her child. So, I mean, Henry Cavill needs to find a new agent. He could do a lot better.
Boa, as far as I know, that is just scuttlebutt. The thing about Calvin Ellis coming to the big screen, I
Oh yeah.
if he does, it'll probably be in some bullshit like the Flash movie that just came out for a second, as a cameo.
So the Calvin Ellis or the other Val Zod project, I don't know which one is done by, supposedly being done by J.J. Abrams and Ta-Nehisi Coates, but that's going to probably get shipped off to someone like Netflix. That is not going to be any part of DC Studios Elseworld Tales. It's not a part of James Gunn's plans. It's not a part of Zadislav's plans. So,
yeah.
That's what it is. But the Ta-Nehisi Coates thing, I don't think that's Val Zod or Calvin Ellis. I think that's Kal-El.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, they're gonna make Kal-El black as opposed to bringing in one of the two actually decent characters from alternate universes, Val Zod or Calvin Ellis.
Oh, and yet in this film, they have the race swapped Iris West, which chalk up another redhead on the pile of the ginger side.
They did that in Justice League because it's the same actress. So.
Right.
But they did it in the TV show too. Mm-hmm. And to be perfectly honest with you, as much as like the ginger side thing is getting to be really annoying, the actress who plays Iris in the TV show is not a bad actress. She's quite good.
Well, look what they're
it's just
doing.
A bad show.
Look what they're doing for Disney's live action. How I Trained My Dragon. How I Trained My Dragon. That's what it's called.
That is not a.
That's Disney.
No, it's not. It's DreamWorks.
Yeah, which is
that's right. It's DreamWorks.
So that's why it's a bigger surprise.
Okay. But the actress, which I have no issue with the actress, who has been cast in the role. She's from the last one.
Yeah, and she was good in that.
She was very good. I thought she was better. I thought she was much better than the Bella Ramsey. I think Bella Ramsey is just flat. So but so I the way I look at this anyway, Nico Parker, I think is her name. And she's very good, but the character, it's just like they're constantly, swapping these characters for not for actual real reasons, but for identity politics reasons, for it's ridiculous.
Checking off a box.
Yes, pretty much. It's that ESG score.
Yeah, Muggsy was showing me stuff from Activision and Ubisoft and their ESG score nonsense. It's like, we have 26%.
I have to ask, why do people call it Ubisoft? That's not a word. It's Ubisoft.
Oh,
it's probably phonetic.
I've heard people call it Ubisoft, so I thought it was.
I know, no, it's Ubisoft. It's literally a U. It's no, this isn't directed at you, Kat. Sorry, I don't understand. Like people call it, they call it both, and I'm like, it's not a word. Like it's anyway. Sorry, it's my weird tangent because I'm just like I don't understand why.
I thought it was the French way of saying it. I've heard. I've also heard. I mean, like for example, Asus isn't Asus, it's Asus. And I actually got told that off by the people because I contacted them a couple years back for something.
I didn't realize that Caucasian Sasquatch said that in my chat. He said,
"Oh yeah, no, of course he said that in your chat. He's you're who he's referring to here.
I figured, but I thought it would be on your channel,
right.
Not mine.
Show you right. Oh yeah.
Oh no, good lord!
We're gonna turn the lights down.
He's coming to you now. I mean, there's only one thing you can say to that, right?
I am not gay. I have relationships with women, sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Boa, holy shit! Wow, Boa.
That is awesome.
I mean,
that is awesome.
You're not wrong.
That's great.
Wow. And I was just gonna say, doesn't Ryan have a backdoor clip too? The Samael.
Hey,
Does it
I
have one
was
of those?
just guessing. I've heard people say Ubisoft, so that's why I thought it was Ubisoft, and not small. Like no, people with big channels saying Ubisoft.
No, I know, and they're
Look,
still
it's
they're
it's
wrong
a it's a
too.
phonetic thing. You know, it's probably the first time they heard it or they sounded it out in their heads, and that's how it came out. You know how people get with how even you and I get when you read something a certain way for so long.
Yeah.
Gary calls him Thanos for Christ's sake.
Yeah, it's
because that's how he read it as a kid.
Yeah,
you know,
it's Thanos. Like
But then, I mean, like I said, people say.
I just had to ask because I've never heard any one of us say Ubisoft like until Kat just did. So I was like, I wanted to be like, what's up with that? I don't get it because it just should be pronounced Ubisoft. I mean, it's not a huge deal. I guess it's like potato, some people, tomato. Some people
meaning Hillary.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah, meaning Hillary.
Wait, is that why she's such an uptight bitch?
Tight is a key word here. I don't think she's ever been. Mom, close your ears. I don't think she's ever been pried open by a man in her life.
Probably when she was younger, she probably was. Yeah.
Sperm donor.
You know what though? You'll never find him because he found a nice corner and put 2 in the back of his own head.
Right.
Jesus.
But self-inflicted too.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, well,
Impressive.
okay,
They found
okay,
the
okay.
gun on the other side of a field.
Hold up, Bo. You are referencing the amalgam age of comics, which was a gimmick in the 90s. Like Thanoside's not a thing outside of that. It's not. If you guys aren't aware of the amalgam age, it was pretty cool, but it was like a limited time thing.
Right, and I believe Darkseid predates Thanos by like 10 years.
Yeah, Thanos is a ripoff of Darkseid.
Yeah,
right.
But
I think Thanos is better though.
A lot of those guys were like ripping off each other left and right.
Well, yeah, that was
absolutely.
back and forth.
Yeah. Well, like the Asgard stuff was, I think,
the New
Kirby's
Gods
original stuff, but the New Gods was what he wanted to do with the Asgard stuff. But when he left Marvel and went to DC, he went nuts there and he created the New Gods. And then Jim Starlin over at Marvel was like, hey, that Darkseid guy's pretty cool.
Just for the record, Shadow, shut up.
Right. And I mean,
because you have no opinion because you're baby nuts.
I will agree with him on this. I think Darkseid is a better character. Darkseid has a lot more lore to him, and he has a lot less silly to him. I mean, early Thanos was goofy as shit.
Oh no, I know. But I know. Early Thanos was really stupid. But that's just when you kind of mix Deadpool and Thanos, then you get the Thanos copter, like bright yellow helicopter that they're riding around in, like.
Well, and speaking of Deadpool is a complete ripoff of
it gets better.
Deathstroke Deathstroke because Deadpool is Wade Wilson, Deathstroke is Slade Wilson.
It gets even better. So Marvel rips off DC's character Deathstroke, right? Slade Wilson was he debuted sometime in the late 70s, early 80s, around the time that the Teen Titans really got their second wind. And so yeah, they created Deadpool. I'm getting them mixed up. Deathstroke Deadpool is a parody and a ripoff of Deathstroke from DC by Marvel. Well, DC a few years ago did it again and parodied Deadpool with a guy named Red Tool.
That's right.
Who is just like him, except he uses like fucking circular saw blades and hammers to kill people.
I will say this though, Marvel isn't the most creative also at the same time with names, because look, Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Fing Fang Foom, there's a lot.
Do not besmirch Fing Fang Foom.
I'm just saying.
Cool name.
I'm just saying. There's a lot of.
Well, first of all, it's Fin Fang Foom, but yeah.
Sorry, Fin Fang Foom. Sorry, It's
a talking Chinese dragon.
Yeah, no, I know. I know what it is. But no, it's there's a lot of kind of, I guess, incestuous stuff going on.
Well, yeah, because folks have gone from one company to the other and back again, and
so I mean, I wouldn't really beat a dead horse too much on that one. But in me personally, I think Thanos is a better character. I think not goofy Thanos, but like actual.
You mean MCU Thanos? Because comic Thanos is still pretty goofy even in the
No,
Infinity Saga.
comic Thanos is still pretty goofy. I don't like the whole death thing. I think that's stupid.
Or the fact that he lost to Deadpool,
right,
over her.
Yeah, no, I like
what you like. What you like, Ryan, is
I like
the Thanos being played by Josh Brolin.
Oh yeah, no. Well, but I also
like honest, so do I.
Thanos also portrayed in the Infinity Gauntlet because he was fucking murking people right and left.
Yeah, but let's
but
not
no,
go into that.
I will say I think that the MCU and Josh Brolin did a much better job than comic Thanos, and that's what it should have been, because unfortunately comics get fucking goofy from time to time.
Well, they do from time to time, and Thanos was not a very well thought out.
That's true, Mr. Dystopian. I forgot about that. Darkseid was the sim for Wonder Woman. I completely forgot about that.
He was
in the Super Friends
cartoon. Yeah. But to be fair, the Super Friends also had an Indian friend who would grow giant by saying, "Enoch Chuck." Yeah, like there was some weird shit in that cartoon.
Chief.
Let's be honest.
Apache Chief. You had
Like,
Samurai.
Like,
Cause no yo
racist?
ni hayaku.
It was just odd. Like they had the Wonder Twins. You know,
Wonder Twins.
There was a monkey.
Gleek.
Powers activate.
And before that, they had Wendy, Michael, and the Wonder Dog.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah, Zillich, check out the Wonder
I'm
Friends
that
or
old.
the Super Friends. It was a cartoon that was on air in the 70s. I think it's on one of the streaming services now. I forget which. Probably Max, if I had to guess. Although since they did their rebranding, some of their exclusive properties have been finding their ways onto other services. I found Dune on Hulu yesterday.
Yeah,
like the new one. You know?
Oh, it's been out long enough. It's been out for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
well, this is what these studios do, and this is what they should be doing, making the money on their content well after it's been in the theaters, because the old model before streaming was around, you had the theatrical run, then you had direct, then you had VHS sales, then you went to cable like HBO, Stars, Cinemax, then you went into the lower tier cable channels like TNT, TBS, USA. Then you went to network TV. So a film actually had like 3 years of shelf life, where it's generating income.
Yeah, but the only problem is these were films that were good enough that people wanted to see multiple times. Now, how much of the bullshit that comes out in the last couple of years?
What's up, Alf?
Does anybody want
what's
to see
up?
more than once and then regret seeing it?
What's up, buddy?
Well, I mean, anything, because it's whatever the channels and stuff back then were willing to pay. I mean Netflix now. I mean Netflix until all these other streamers came out, they would pay tens of millions of dollars to a Warner Brothers, Paramount, Disney to get their content for like a 10-month block, and then they would do the same thing with Amazon. They would get tens of millions of dollars for a exclusive block of time.
Yep, they cycle movies around. So like Gladiator, which obviously hasn't been out since 2000, but it's an incredible movie. It was on Netflix just a couple months ago. and now it's hopped over to Amazon. And so they bounce this stuff around all the time. And I have to be honest, when it comes to Netflix, they've made such poor choices recently. I think the only reason that Netflix is actually somewhat staying afloat with its content is because of its like murder mystery style, crime,
Honestly, that's probably it. Like they did it was a scripted show recently with that one dude from Game of Thrones, Nikolaj Coster-Waldau or whatever. Anyway, called Florida Man, and I watched that, and honestly, it was pretty good. Aside from the fact that I can't buy that particular actor is from the United States at all. Seeing as how he's from Florida, his character's from Florida, but he lives in Philly, and he sounds like he's from fucking Romania the whole time.
And I've not watched that one yet, but
it's not bad. It's pretty good.
And they have it, and Netflix has made some good choices. They acquired Squid Game, which was a massive hit, and then the Wednesday show, massive hit.
Oh yeah, no, Wednesday hit on all cylinders.
I love that show.
I'd say Wednesday's more relevant though than Squid Game. I mean, Squid Game came out 2 years ago. Give or take, right?
Well,
and they've made a lot of poor decisions between 2 years ago and now.
It was kind of a cult thing. It was kind of like how
right.
Game
It blew
of
up at
Thrones
the
hit
time,
really hard,
and it was a good move at the time. I just think that as far as Netflix making good decisions goes, there was a lot more bad in between that and Wednesday than not.
Yeah, and I honestly believe that it's probably the ladies watching there, obviously because there's a lot of like real,
well, they have all 15 seasons of Supernatural on there too.
Yeah.
Right? That has a huge cult following.
Yep.
Huge, like worldwide.
Yeah. They're making money off of like legacy kind of stuff. Seinfeld is on Netflix right now, obviously for a meantime. And before that, I think Seinfeld was actually on Hulu. So of course now obviously it's made its way to Netflix. The ladies, they love their real world. Oh my God, she got kidnapped and murdered and all. I mean, I like that stuff too because I used to be a cop. I find it fascinating, but
which is also the biggest driving audience for the other part of the Warner Brothers, all of the Discovery Network stuff. Huge the women audience there.
Yep.
Yeah. Take a bit of a hard left turn here. Are you guys ready for some dystopian shit?
Oh God, why?
This isn't. I suppose dystopian is the wrong word for what I'm getting into. I'm thinking more like Hadron Collider, like Mandela effect kind of shit.
Okay.
So
apparently, Alf thinks I like. Alf says I like murder porn.
That's what you said. You said
that's what it's called. Yeah, that's absolutely what it's called. I love those murder mystery shows that are based on real events.
Yeah. So you love murder porn. Just say it like that.
I've never heard it called murder porn. So
really?
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
You don't hang around enough wine moms.
I don't know that. Well, now we know what Samuel does in his free time.
Oh God.
I take up their free time.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying we know what he does in his free time now.
Yeah. So that said, so you guys remember the Fruit of the Loom logo, right?
Oh yeah.
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 You guys remember the cornucopia? Yeah. And now they're saying that that's not a thing and never was.
What?
Yeah.
Wait. Oh.
They're saying the logo was never a thing.
They're saying it never happened.
Yep. It's the Berenstain Bears all over again. I could swear I have like old clothes packed away that have that fucking cornucopia on them, but now they're saying that doesn't exist. I think I stunned my panel, guys.
Wow.
I don't understand.
Wow. Is there? Do they give a reason?
No, like it was just a thing. There was somebody who posted something about you know, how there used to be like brown leaves on the edges, which was a lie because it was these green leaves. They just turned brown. They're like, oh, well, you know, you just imagined that it was there. And I'm just like, did we though?
We're being gaslit here.
Yeah,
I think so.
Well, highlight Alaska Jeff's comment.
There we go. Yeah, see, like I said, I could swear that I've seen that logo my whole life, right? You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they had changed it currently, right?
Yeah, I was about to say it's had that logo though.
And Carrie says it.
Yeah,
Carrie confirms it. Oa confirms it. Yeah,
yeah.
I remember that logo.
Alpha's saying it. Yeah, I don't understand. I also saw that Tyler was in the chat. What's up, buddy? How you doing? But that's super freaking weird.
Yeah, isn't it? It's just I don't know, but it's like I guess it calls back that whole debate about whether it was the Berenstain Bears or the Berenstain Bears.
Doesn't really matter.
I've always heard it.
No, it's like
Bears.
small things. Like the idea is that, you know, so when they turned on Hadron Collider, it shunted us into an alternate reality where things are slightly different. And one of the clues to that is the letter change in the name Berenstain.
Slightly. No.
The
hashtag "Leave Children Alone" was trending on Twitter a couple days ago.
I get that. That's not what I'm saying. When I say slightly different, I mean like when the shunt happened, things were slightly different. I would say that the shunt itself drove the entire fucking world crazy at once in 2012.
Yeah, because that's
I think we all lost our minds because all of a sudden reality was not reality anymore. It was not the reality we knew, not the reality we came from. Something is very, very wrong with the universe, and we all can feel it, and it's making us crazy as a species.
Yes.
Well, I already am crazy, so it doesn't affect me one bit.
I guess it just means that you're in good company. But no, I mean, that's when everything got fucked up is after 2012. And that's when they turned the Hadron Collider on. And then, of course, we've talked about this recently, that they turned the Hadron Collider on again just a decade later, back in like early 2022. And things are slowly starting to normalize.
Yeah. Alf might have a point here about the cornucopia, though. Because it references the Pilgrims. Thing is that it was the Native Americans who
racism, genocide.
Yeah, but the Pilgrims didn't have the cornucopia. The Native Americans brought the cornucopia to the Pilgrims.
No, I know, but still, the fact that the Pilgrims basically brought diseases and stuff like that, and of course they killed the Native Americans.
So that's just a different flavor of cornucopia.
Yeah, well, you're not allowed to celebrate anything that has racist ties.
And let's also not forget that a lot of the early settlers died because of because they contracted diseases from the Native Americans too.
Well, they don't tell that story because nobody cares. Well, the right people don't care, so to speak.
Hey, Zombie Box.
Zombie Box reviews.
Well, somebody was talking about that game coming out about the conquistadors versus the natives, and they're like the natives were horrific. They're like they had a whole bunch of them actually allied with the conquistadors, and the conquistadors were like, we can't control them. They're out of control. That even the ones that allied with them were just a lot of the killing wasn't even done by the conquistadors. It was actually done by the tribes that allied with the conquistadors, and that they were like, because they'd been under the control of the which group was
the Aztecs.
Yeah, the Aztecs. That when they finally had the opportunity to fight back, they became brutal, vicious monsters.
Here's the thing that a lot of people leave off when they talk about the Aztecs, especially modern. When people talk about it, like, oh, we have Aztec in my ancestry and all this stuff, and they want to build them up and be like this like great glorious civilization. They were a conquering empire. They conquered every single tribe they were adjacent to, and then some. And then they fed those tribes to their god. And it was, there was nothing pretty about that civilization. I find them fascinating. I did a bunch of research on them when I was a teenager. But let's be honest here.
Zenny.
It was a fucked up civilization.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Boom, boom, sticks always win. Yep, Zenny, they do.
They do if you have the numbers. The thing is that the Spaniards did not have the numbers to beat an entire empire. That's why they relied on the surrounding tribes.
And boom boom sticks work unless you're fighting emus.
Well, another example of that would be
when
Shaka Zulu took out that British fort in South Africa. Right? They had plenty of firepower, but there were more Zulu than there were Brits. And the Brits were just not as disciplined as the Zulu were. and so they got their asses kicked.
Mhm.
You know, and it's so yeah, the boom boom sticks, they do turn the tide and all that stuff, but that really depends on how many guns you have, how many men the other side has, what the will of the other side is, and how much ammo you got. Really, I mean, if you can kill enough of them to make them go away, like they did at Thermopylae, which didn't involve guns, but you know, then more power to you. But that's like a rare case. Most of the time, you're going to get overrun. So, but yeah, the Aztecs were jacked up, and you're right about that, Cat. They had to enlist the neighboring tribes, the surviving neighboring tribes. There were several that I'm pretty sure I remember reading about that the Aztecs sacrificed into pretty much extinction. You know, bloody brutal people, by the way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had a game that was a lot like somewhere between soccer and basketball, right?
Mhm.
Where you use your elbows and your knees, and you try to knock the ball through a sideways hoop that's on the that's attached to the wall, but the ball was a severed human head.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Or
the
just-
and the team that lost was ultimately sacrificed, if I remember correctly.
Mhm.
Well, what they did in the northern areas of North America, which would be now called Canada,
Have a good one, Wookie.
when
Wookie.
when the warring tribes, the warriors would go head to head to a battle to the death. Whoever lost their head, and then they would play a game,
Mhm.
which we now know as lacrosse, with that head. And lacrosse is Canada's national sport.
Well, I mean,
For
yeah.
for now until they discover its original origins, and they're like,
No. They're not gonna.
I know. I'm just making fun of Canada because they're
Like-
so screwed up right now.
I honestly think that's where the line will be drawn with all of the totalitarian crap that's coming their way, right? I think the Canucks are finally going to stand up to Castro Jr. and his elite posse when they try to cancel lacrosse. I think that's what's going to happen. Lacrosse or hockey, whichever one comes first.
Oh, it'll be lacrosse because the few Canadian teams that they have bring in lots of revenue.
You never lacrosse the Canadians.
I'll tell you what, that's a dad joke right there.
You know what? I'm a dad. I appreciate the joke. So
Right.
speaking
know you
of
are.
which, I don't think that I said this at the top of the show, but I should have, and I will probably say it again at the bottom of the show. Tomorrow is Father's Day.
Happy dads.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and to me, because I'm a father. But yeah, but happy Father's Day to all of you. Hope you get to spend some quality time with your kids, and hope you enjoy the socks and ties
Yes.
that are coming your way. You know,
And
which
steaks and blowjobs too.
Only if you got a good wife. Well, I guess as a husband, you're going to want to cook the steak, but if she's going to give you a blowjob, she's got to be a good wife for that. Not none of this modern day feminist crap.
Oh. Hey, why'd you look in my direction? I'm not a modern day
Oh
feminist.
I looked at the camera.
Okay.
Because it's one of those things. She's like, oh my god, you want me? She's like, fine.
Yes.
yeah. So,
Oh my god, you want me to swallow? Are you serious?
Yes.
yeah.
You're like, well, I stick my tongue where yours is, and it's like
that's
two-way street, sister.
It's pretty graphic. Again, Ma, plug your ears. Ryan's showing off.
That's why I'm here. It's why I'm here.
It is why you're
And
here.
any chance for Ryan to talk about his tongue?
Yeah,
So
you know what's funny is that I misbehave on your stream and you come in and stir shit on my stream.
Yeah, but I do it masterfully.
Is that one way to put it? Because I don't think it is.
Well, there's a master in there somewhere.
Oh, that's awesome.
Might end in bait. Who knows?
Bait her.
Yeah. So as these things go, though, seriously, to all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day.
Absolutely.
When I was younger, I actually believed that socks were a bad gift, but the older I get, the more practical they are, and the more I'm just like, you know what? Give me socks. Socks are awesome. I always need socks.
A belt, a wallet, just.
I mean, the wallet I'm good on. I've had the same wallet for 23 years.
All right, right on.
So in fact, if it survives me, I will probably pass it down to like a grandkid or something.
Wow.
It might not survive me though. It's already missing one of the clasps, but it has been for like 15 years, so it's fine.
But yeah, definitely cherish your father this weekend, because God knows you never know when you're not going to be able to spend that time with them. And family's what's most important always.
Huh?
Huh?
I'm sorry I blew up your mom, Ricky. Oh, okay. That's I feel like I should get the joke, and I don't. Something about that seems kind of familiar, though.
Well, let's Google it, because I'm a little lost too. I feel like that's like a Ricky Bobby joke or something.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, Leo, welcome. Oh, Better Off Dead. Okay. Yeah. I haven't seen that movie in ages.
Okay.
The only thing I remember from that movie was the weird little dance number with the hamburger. It's a strange movie.
It is. And there was one line that is, but the most famous line from that film is, "I want my $2."
Yeah, I could see that. Did you guys ever see Payback with Mel Gibson?
Yes.
Yes.
Better Off Dead was made in 1985. That was the year I was born. That's a long time ago.
Dude, fuck.
That bit where Mel Gibson goes up to James Coburn and he's like, "I just want my 70 grand," and he's like, 70? That's it? My shoes cost more than that. He's like, that's all you want? He's like, yeah, I just want what's owed to me. Fun stuff.
Bo is like, Ryan. I also dribbled a little bit. I have a hole in my mouth.
I think he was pointing at the Better Off Dead.
Okay. That's what I want.
So, but yes, you do have a hole where your mouth is.
I did have a hole in my. Wow.
Just for you, buddy. Just for you. Hey, just be glad I haven't played the slip and slide one yet.
Come on! I've been waiting for that one.
All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it to the chat. So I have this horrifically offensive, possibly a little bit too uncomfortably long, short video that mocks myself and Ryan.
Oh no!
Would you? If one's for yes, two's for no. Do you want me to play it? Yeah. I already know your answer, Joker. No. I got it. All right, so we're seeing some ones here. This might not go your way, Ryan. It's not going your way.
That's all right. I'm. Yeah.
Oh, Jeff's like, fuck this, I'm out. All right.
Yeah, see you, Jeff.
Thanks for having
all right, buddy. Thanks again.
Back here next week. This time, it kind of looks like the ones have it.
Yep. I mean, it doesn't bother me really.
All right. Well,
I mean, it is gross, but.
Why fight it indeed? So for those of you new to the channel, I don't play that one often because it tends to make panelists more than chat uncomfortable. Also brought to us by Kohai Masochist.
Hates it.
Yeah, no, we can't. No, we can't stand it. So it's probably good she wasn't here while I played it. Then I don't think Kat likes it either.
No,
at all.
No.
It's just.
I find it hilarious.
Well, it's his prison wallet. It's not mine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No. It. So
see, in this scenario, I'm the gerbil to his Richard Gere.
Right.
Oh, jeez, I forgot about that. That guy. What are you doing? You crazy fucker, you.
Oh man. So we are in the midst of just the craziest timeline.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of wonder how much more nuts things are going to get. And I mean, obviously, some of the stuff that's coming out lately that we're hearing about, whether there's truth to it or not, is even if it is real, it's only being released as a distraction from, you know, shit that's going on with shady assholes. But yeah, it is what it is. But like you heard that thing last week about the Pentagon denying alien bodies, even though no one asked them.
Yeah, no, I did.
Which kind of makes me believe that they're lying.
Well,
What?
Gee whiz,
What? What? Government
the government
lying?
doesn't
The government
lie.
wouldn't lie to us.
Let's ask.
I hate
Let's
those some bitches.
let's ask the former government employee.
I hate those some bitches, and yes, they lie all the fucking time.
Hey, I also worked for the government too. I worked in the public library, which technically is the government, and I echo his sentiment.
I currently work for the government. Currently, that's my day job.
Samuel's going to be disappeared.
Yeah, they don't care too much about me. I'm invisible, but it is what it is. But yeah, in my personal actual experience working with government, local, state, and that sort of thing, I've never gone up to the federal level, but
not missing anything.
They lie.
Tell you that much.
No.
They lie all the time. They lie to each other. They lie in inter-office memorandums. They lie to the public. Like, you know, like a typical city council, right?
Yeah.
They're all lying to each other and their constituents.
Yeah, they lie straight to your damn face. Yeah. They'll tell you something one week and then literally turn around and tell you something else. Be like, that's not true. And they're like, yeah, it is.
It's like a prerequisite of the job almost. You know, you got to be willing to, maybe not the best liar. I don't think you have to have any skill to it, because obviously there are politicians who are really, really fucking bad at it, but do it anyway. But you have to be willing to, I think, is one of the prerequisites, which is super screwed up, if you ask me. You know, if you're serving the people, you should be there at the whims and the behest of the people.
Yeah.
All I wanted to do when I was in high school was work for the government. I joined the military, and then of course I did that for a while. I did my stint. Yeah. Well, I don't know, because octopus are pretty good at squeezing into small spaces regardless.
Yeah.
But yeah, and on top of that, working in the military, and then the citizen sector of the federal government, they lie to you all the time. And I've done that for probably a good 15 years altogether. And I'm so glad I don't have to deal with their bullshit anymore. After working for them and seeing everything the government does, like even now, just you catch things. Yeah, I'm good riddance to trash.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Carrie, that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's like, it doesn't matter if there are or not. You know, the fact that it is that as it comes out now, while so much else is going on, obviously it's a distraction. You know, like if there are bodies, that would make the distraction that much more potent. But if there aren't, I mean, it accomplishes the intended task. Which is to get us to look over here while they do stuff over here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Man, really? Apparently Netflix is making a live action Avatar: The Last Airbender series.
Oh God, why?
Can we just not leave things alone?
No, because they have no imagination, and they need to add your stupid feminism and your stupid other bullshit just to mess everything up.
Can't leave anything alone. They really are out of ideas.
Yeah.
They are creatively bankrupt.
Yeah.
No joke.
Yeah, that's
wild.
Been saying that for a while.
You just, every time you turn around, well, we got the what's to see there, Jacob? We got the remake of this, and it's like, you were remaking that? I didn't. What?
Have a good night, Jacob. Ironside, Iron, Erectus. Nothing. Does call back to what he said earlier.
No, this is getting really, really, really tiring.
Yeah, the movie did terrible. I mean, obviously the TV show was pretty darn successful, but I don't know why I guess they're making like a live action TV series instead of an animated series. Like,
Why? The cartoon is great. Just watch the
I,
animated series.
I don't know.
It's
I don't know.
yeah, who knows at this point? Like, obviously, the trend that everyone can see, including studio heads, is that this kind of thing fails each and every time.
I think they're just trying to destroy everything that we enjoyed as when we were younger. I think that's what they're doing.
Well, man, that's why I'm saying, like, I know Kat keeps bringing up, why would they do this if it doesn't make them any money? I don't think that money matters. I don't think it ever did. I think that they are all part of the same overarching plan to destabilize and dismantle and destroy the West. And I think this is part of it. And if they're just going to keep pouring more money into this shit because they're going to try and turn as many kids as possible.
Well, I think I agree. I think the whole thing about them making maps the norm is not the goal. I think it is. It hit me suddenly that, you know what? If we have a civil war, I already know what two flags are going to be flying: the American flag on one end and the rainbow flag on the other. And they know now that they are seeing all of these failures, they're losing. They would, if there was a war, they would lose. So what they're doing is they're indoctrinating kids, and it's not about normalizing things like maps. It's about getting them into the cult. And they plan on eventually cultural revolution, and they're starting with them young. They're playing the long game.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm getting at. It's like it's not about the studios, it's not about making money, it's not about long-term survivability of Hollywood or any of that shit.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with controlling the minds of the youth.
Yeah.
And destroying what came before. That's all it's ever been about. That's what the message that Critical Drinker's always calling it. The message is.
Right.
The message is we are taking over, and there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much money we throw at this. There's always more money where that came from.
Yeah. That's why they're willing to sacrifice so much money, because they can keep getting more, and they're looking at the long game. They know that eventually these kids are going to be, they're going to corrupt enough kids so that this is the norm.
Right. And like we talk a lot about on this show, we talk a lot about all the different aspects of it, but there are a lot of other different shows who will talk about, like, Amira, for example, another channel that I work online is Exiled, for those who are interested. She talks about the politics of it, the real world politics. Ryan, for example, and JV talk a lot more about the entertainment side of it. There are other channels that talk about the education aspects of it, or the agricultural aspects of it, or whatever, what have you. But it's all multi-pronged attacks on the same thing: us.
Culture Casino talks about the business side of it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it just. It is a multi-pronged attack on all that is free and just and right in the universe, as far as we know. And if this great experiment that is the United States finally succumbs, right, we're it. That's it. No more. There's no more light in the universe. This light goes out, everything will be plunged into darkness.
Yep. If they're allowed to trample on this flag that Samuel and I have both embraced for the month of June, if they're allowed to trample that the ideologies that the Bill of Rights, then it's done. It's over. And that's sad, because there are people in this country who are willing just to give up their freedom of speech for a little bit of comfort, because I didn't like that they said mean things. And it's like, okay, well, eventually you're going to say something that's not necessarily mean, and then somebody else is going to say that was really mean, and guess what? You're the next one to be put on the wall.
The problem, the problem with, and this word gets overused, but I'm just going to use it anyway because it's applicable here. The problem with being woke is you can never be woke enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever.
I mean, we've literally found out that guess what? black people in the United States have been victims for, ever since they were brought here as, the 1619s.
I gotta
right?
address this real
1619.
quick. So, Boa, you state that Israel and the West are the threat to world peace, and I would counter with there is no such thing as world peace. World peace is a fucking myth. Can't happen. The only peace that we will all share in the end is the grave. Period. And the East,
I agree.
In this case, communism, the WEF, if Kerry's right, Iran, they wish to bring us all the peace of the grave, but that is it.
Right.
Right. So, no, I would say that that is a categorically incorrect statement. So
I don't care.
I'm sorry, I went off a little bit there.
No, well, I mean, look, and when it comes down to it, my main priority is us having our freedom. You know what? The rest of the world, at this point, you got enough problems in this country. I keep worrying about the future of this country. We're a laughing joke to the world now. We are a joke. I mean, right, how many countries are looking at us and going, they can't even define what a woman is in America, the country that once used to be one of the greatest, what was the greatest nation, where people went to college to desperate to come to this country, to go to school, the country of innovation, of great development. And what are we? A joke. We can't even define biological fact. That's why to be Make America Great Again isn't just about Trump. It's about the fact that we have become the laughing stock of the planet. No, but there are some things that are stupid, and there are some things that are just ridiculously dumb. You're telling me you can't even. You're telling me that we are having debates over whether biological men can compete against women. That isn't something up for debate. That's something that you look at the person who's saying, "Yeah, it's right," and you go, "No, you're stupid. Shut up." The fact that we have actual organizations going, "Yeah, we need to defend this. We need to argue against this." That's bullshit. Okay, that's how low we have sunk. Where we are literally debating over something that has existed for millennia. That you went to a caveman and you said, in grunts and whatever, he would know the difference between a man and a woman. We are so pathetic in this country. Our school system is so garbage that half the kids can't read. Nobody wants to come to college in America anymore because all of our college students, I cannot believe the level of how communism has spread in this country. We have spoiled children who, if you don't call them they, them, they need protection. I see these people going onto college campuses and they get it is ridiculous that we have become a joke. We used to be great. My father came from Egypt to go to school in America, was one of the top 200 students in Egypt to come to school in America. And now I doubt most of these people, you could pay them to come to college in America. We used to make innovation. We used to come up with new developments. Now we come out with new pronouns. I just saw some woman going on about egg self pronouns. Honey, habibti. Egg is not a pronoun. Okay? I'm sorry to break it to you, but calling yourself egg only proves one thing. Why the hell did we close the mental institutes? Because you belong there.
We should reopen them.
Yes. And we should lock up a whole bunch of these spoiled little brats, and the ones who can actually function, make them do hard labor. Because clearly these spoiled little brats, who the only big difficult challenge they face in their lives is, you misgendered me. My gender is they, them. There's no such thing as fucking non-binary, you little pathetic loser. Period. There's no such thing. It's in your crazy heads. And the fact that you want us to call... No,
have
because
you ever heard Kat say the F word before?
Once or twice.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
No, it's rare.
It's definitely
it's very,
rare.
Very rare.
She said the F word, and I was like, whoa.
It's very, very rare. But I can tell you this much. We had one large woman who came to where I worked, right? And everyone was like, yeah, she wants to be called they, them. And everyone that said it behind her back thought it was the dumbest thing ever. It's just stupid. We have become a joke. The kids can't do math. They can't do science. I mean, when I was a kid, our education system was behind. But now, you
what
have...
education system?
Well, when
we have kids being shown pride-based movies in math class, and they can't even
Yes.
fucking do basic math.
We
No, I
have
mean-
we have students that are in institutions that are built on the models of prisons.
They serve the same food too.
Yeah.
If you didn't know that, yeah.
True story.
But
Yeah,
no, but I'm
you
just
didn't-
saying, when
yeah.
I was in school, we didn't have this pride thing going on. We didn't have any of this. And even then, when I went to school in Egypt for 6 months, I came back to America. My math level was higher than everyone else in my class.
No, I believe you. I really
And that
do.
was when I was a child. So that was a very long time ago because I was in 3rd grade. Okay. So that was a very long time ago. Now, these kids, oh my God, math is racist, honey. 2 + 2 is 4, no matter what race you are or whatever.
No, math is racist because apparently black children don't excel at it. Because
That's not the
that's why
point.
it's racist.
It's because calculus and trig was developed by white guys.
Oh, that probably too.
Actually, a lot of math was
New-
developed by the Arabs. Algebra comes from an Arabic word called al-jabr. So a lot of the math was either developed by Arabs or was translated from the Greeks and the Romans by the Arabs, who translated it because they were the only ones who could translate it after the Roman Empire fell. So you want to call it?
After looking into it, that is partially true.
Yes.
There were other civilizations that had developed math on their own, but as it turns out, math is a universal thing.
Yes.
Right.
So,
universal language.
where it worked in, say, the Incan Empire or the Chinese
Mayans made
Empire,
0.
or wherever it might be, or in the Middle East, like it all, as it turns out, it all kind of works the same everywhere because it's a universal thing. You can't just say 2 + 2 = 5 because 2 + 2 does not, in fact, equal fucking 5.
Right.
Hell, the numbers we use today are called the Arabic numerals. So how is that racist? Just the whole thing is dumb.
Like I said, because black children don't excel at it. That's why.
Then teach the black children, but clearly no one is excelling.
No,
at
it's because of bad parenting in the home. So most
that's true, too.
most kids from an underprivileged neighborhood don't get the opportunity to go to school as much as there's probably some of them would like to, and so instead of
but
you and Larry Bolt's village.
But aren't most of these cities run by Democrats?
Oh,
Or
yes.
the loving, caring ones?
Yes.
Help the kids then, so that they can learn math instead of dumbing down the schools.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kat. Finish, and then I'll.
I was just gonna say, okay, so then you know what? Help them, okay? Help them get the education they need.
Do that.
And you know what? You know what? The funny thing is, when I was a kid, it was girls can't do math, and I was very good at math.
You don't want to do that. You know why? Because then Gavin Newsom can go on Sean Hannity and lie his ass off and say that California is doing fucking great.
Yeah.
And that it's the blue states that are holding up the red states, and this is all a kind of nonsense. He's also admitted the fact that no, there's not a mass exodus of people leaving California. What are you talking about?
Okay, you know what? Hold on. I live in the state right next door, and when I drive to work, which is less than 5 miles, half of the license plates are California.
I believe
there are 2 states between me and California, and we're seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
2
people
whole states.
Are fleeing for their lives, literally.
Okay,
from California.
California lost 2 congressional seats.
Yep.
You lose those because of population.
No, but on top of that, you just
magnificent
lost the mall. How many companies go, you know what? This is so non-profitable. I'm going to dump a mall.
What?
2 hotels. You didn't hear about it?
No, I don't know what you're talking
Westfield
about.
Mall has just turned over their massive building to their creditors because they cannot keep it open. Because the crime is so bad, the mall is like less than 50% full. They dumped the mall. On top of that, 2 hotels totaling, each one of them is over $1 billion. Massive hotels are also doing the exact same thing. They are turning over their buildings to the creditors and they are leaving. If a mall and 2 massive hotels are dumping California, I think that speaks volumes. Most people don't dump a mall.
It
And
was
Crystal, you're in Colorado. You were invaded by California, but that was a slow process. It started when they bought up the water rights to your aquifers in the 80s and 90s, and then they started invading in the rich areas and all that stuff. I used to live in Colorado too. It's part of why I left.
Likewise.
Yeah.
And Crystal is somebody who grew up in Colorado, and I love that state, and my parents are there, and I'm literally moving home. Luckily I live in a smaller city / town, so that's not as big of a problem. But yes, the Californians have dumped up fucking Denver like so awful that Denver literally looks like it's a part of California.
Yeah, and
Almost everywhere on the streets, fucking graffiti, people shitting in the streets.
Yeah, my condolences that you're still there. That's a hard thing. I know there's still pockets of good places in Colorado, but
I wouldn't be moving home if it wasn't for the small town, small city vibe that I'm going back to. Because you know what, during COVID, people where I grew up, they're like, "Fuck the mask, man. We don't give a shit. We don't care what the fucking state says." Nobody cared, and nobody was going out of their way to be a psycho.
Yeah, Zillage, I wouldn't worry as much about Texas
No.
as I would about Florida, because Florida has a history of flip-flopping on things.
Yep.
Pretty severely, and it'll probably happen again. They're probably going to swing back the other way the next cycle around, would be my guess.
Yeah, Crystal says Denver is a nightmare. Oh yeah, I lived in Westminster first. Then I lived in
ouch.
Well, but you have to think this is over a decade ago.
Yeah,
So,
no, I
lived in the upper part of Westminster, and then I lived in Broomfield, and then I lived before I left. I lived in Thornton, so that's kind of like the area, like all three that I was in.
Yeah, I used to have some friends in Broomfield. We'd visit them all the time, but we went to when we went to Westminster, we usually ended up in South Westminster.
Yeah, no, that's
not
on
good.
the edge of Federal Heights. Federal Heights is a shithole.
Yeah, it's rough down there.
Now, Beak,
Crystal, Aurora.
Beak,
I'm sorry.
I don't see how legalizing the marijuana is a ruined California or
Colorado.
You know what?
Colorado.
You know what? I'll say this. Now,
I
first of
do.
all,
Hold on, Kat. Since I actually grew up there, let me comment. The reason is because everybody from California who wanted to smoke weed moved to Colorado because it was the first to do so. That's why.
That had a lot to do with it.
I would also add
Maybe.
this.
I mean, because it's legal here, and that's really the least of our problems.
No, I know, but Colorado was the very first one to legalize it, and Colorado, they got a shitload of tax revenue from it.
I don't know how bad it was in Nevada, but in Colorado, before they legalized it, right, the drug trade was thriving in Colorado, and it still is. It's just got different. The taskmasters wear a badge now instead of a cartel ID.
Gotcha. And I used to live in Thornton, Colorado.
Oh no, okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, no, I lived in Thornton, off of 102nd Avenue.
Sure.
Okay.
It was a long time ago.
He doesn't remember.
Yeah, no, I
also.
Yeah, I grew up in Fort Collins. If that helps, I'm not there anymore. I haven't been in a long time, but.
Yeah. No, I've been to Fort Collins. That's where CSU is. The reason I lived in the reason I moved to Denver, to Westminster in the beginning, and then moved to Broomfield is because I was going to CU Boulder. Now talk about you want fucking hippies, man. Jesus.
CU is CU's a lost cause.
I know
is a lost cause.
I know, and I love CU. I
say the next time they riot over a game and set fire to their town, just let it burn.
CU, that's the Buffaloes, right?
The Buffs, yeah.
I don't know.
That's where the head coach of the Las Vegas Aces went.
Well, I don't know, but maybe it's just me. So first off, I figured out why I was wrong about marijuana being legal, because there are certain alternatives, because I keep getting these ads for Mood and they're like, it's legal in all 50 states. It's actually
CBD.
like, yes.
It's CBD then.
Yeah, which I didn't understand. So my brother was explaining the difference. However, maybe it's just me. I get it. Most people who are high on marijuana, they're not like alcoholics, so that could be correct. But at the same time, I mean, when they say the streets of New York smell like weed, and when you get ads for it, And it's like the latest pastime is now getting high. While it may not be as destructive, at the same time, it is, because it's changed the whole. Most people who would not have used weed are now using it. And I feel like it's brought down even more a crumbling building. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's like you have a
It's the type of strain that
Yeah.
that you use.
Yep.
But no, but it's not that. It's just the whole. It's like you're adding even more oil to the fire. It's not in it of itself bad, but I feel like it when you have people who now go home and just get high when they would have been doing other things, when people who
and
I'm not saying it shouldn't be legal. In fact, I'm very much a libertarian on that regard. But at the same time, it's like it's dropped the quality of the atmosphere in a sense.
Well, you could argue the same thing about alcohol.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
you
I
could,
mean,
and I
you're
agree
talking
that-
to a Muslim.
Nicotine, alcohol.
Is
It's
somebody
just
in the past who has had their struggles with alcohol. I don't anymore because I don't, but I used to drink, and the next day I was worthless for like half the day. Like, and that's a bad cycle. It takes a long time to get out of that. And I finally figured a way out of it where I can actually find some neutrality again. But I do have one question real quick before JV says anything. Kat, do you got 5 on it?
Huh?
I got 5 on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I knew you two would know what I'm talking about. It's a song. It's called "I Got 5 on It." It's about buying a bag of weed. I got 5 on it. Yeah, it's a good song, but yeah, it's.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't think I understand why it's legal. I'm not saying it should be, but I feel like it's adding more to a crumbling mess. And like he said, like Behemoth said, where he's like, I smell it from people as the streets. New York, I'm told the streets of New York smell like it. People don't do things in moderation.
Mr.
What are you
would
doing?
you like to say something, sir?
I'm just gonna say, because in this town, it's a recreational legal and to whatnot, and you have to go to a specific. You have to go to a dispensary to buy it. So it has to pass certain regulations. I have been to dispensaries before. They are nicer. They are cleaner than about half the bars in this town.
They have to be.
No, I'm not saying that. It's not about the circus. I'm just saying in general, like,
guys, am I lagging a little bit on camera?
You are.
Oh yeah,
lagging.
you are. Hey, for everybody who's a fan of the painter Monet, Ryan's kind of emulating that right now.
What the fuck, man?
You are pixeling out a little bit. It looks better now than it did a few seconds ago, but there's some motion blur going on.
I think I know what was going on. My internet has been acting finicky over the last I feel like it was even a little finicky last night. But yeah, sorry. I
Yeah, me too, buddy. I hate Monet too. I think impressionism sucks.
Let me try to back out and come back in. I'll see if that helps. I'll be right
Well,
back.
I mean, an interesting thing about Monet is everyone talks about the stuff where from from far away it looks really clear, but as you get closer it's a big mess. Early on his stuff was very clear, very precise. He was going blind, so he's simply painting the world as he saw it. I mean, because if you see the stuff later on, it's really
right.
blurry.
But he kind of spawned a whole movement of artists who were doing that shit on purpose. And it's just like I don't care for his art much. I don't have anything to say about the man. He died long before I came along. But but as far as his art goes, I am not a fan. I'm also pretty much everything that came after like the Baroque periods and the Renaissance, I'm not really into. I like the hyper detailed stuff that you got in those days.
Now unlike most of the and unlike most of the masters, he was rich from the start, so he could afford to paint at leisure and do whatever.
Yeah.
This wasn't
Not go crazy over a girl and cut his ear off and mail it to her
and eat his paint, right?
You know what's funny actually. I had an art teacher years ago who was telling us that guys like Salvador Dali were real punks in their day, but no, just like the man, not his art. But you know, like he was that era's equivalent of a punk rocker.
Yeah,
and all that. Like they said that he used to shave his head and then stick sea urchins onto it.
Why?
Right?
Because he could.
Because he was a weird guy.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that hurt?
Well, no, because they got like suckers. They're like barnacles. They attach and all that stuff. But you wouldn't want to like touch the part sticking out because that's all spiny. But yeah, that he used to do shit like that. I mean, there's some weird stuff out there about some of these guys.
Yeah. Well, what was it? The famous the Van Gogh painting Starry Night was his view from his asylum cell, and a lot of folks say that it's a very happy, it's a very pretty piece. I have seen the original. No, it's not. It is angry. It is angry. It is dirty because he used very thick paint and he used a knife to make those swirls. It is grooves that he has just dug into that really thick lead-based paint.
You know, I have a T-shirt with a print of Starry Night on it, but it makes it better because it adds Cthulhu.
Ooh,
nice.
Which makes more sense now that with the asylum side of things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he was going loopy because he would paint and he would brush he would touch his face and he would ingest some of that highly lead-based paint.
Yeah, it's the same kind of deal that happened with a lot of haberdashers and whatnot, because mercury is a very commonly used thing in hat making, or at least it was, and it'll seep in through the skin and it poisons you. But one of the first signs that it's poisoning you is that you lose your fucking mind. I mean, eventually it'll kill you too, because the buildup of toxic metals in your system will just take you out. But with mercury in particular, it has a similar effect on the mind that the syphilis bacteria does.
Correct.
Eats holes in it.
Oh man, syphilis! You want to know why fucking Hitler went nuts? That's why.
Actually, I have a theory about that. So I guess it's not a theory, and I'm sure other people have talked about this ad nauseum, but I think that the only reason that he opened up a second war and a second front in the war against the Russians, because he was planning to do that all along, but he wanted to conquer the West first before he struck out east. And to be fair, Stalin was planning on turning on him eventually too. They don't share power. These guys, these socialists, these communists, these fascists, they don't share power. They work together to defeat other enemies, and then they were going to turn on each other anyway. But I think the reason he did it so soon was because the syphilis ate into his brain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think he lost focus, and he lost the ability to make good judgments. And I think everybody was so afraid of him that they just kind of went along with it, when they could have easily, like his top guys, the SS, his advisors, they could have easily said, okay, sir, we'll go ahead and we'll do this, and then not did it because it's fucking suicidal for their entire country, But that's what I think happened. I think the syphilis got to him, and I think he lost his mind, and then he opened that second war up, and that's how Germany lost, honestly, because they were fucking winning up until that point.
Wait,
they were.
No, because that makes sense, because if I recall, he even said he didn't want to start multiple fronts because he didn't want to make the same mistake as World War I.
He didn't want to make the same mistake as Napoleon.
Right.
Right. So you guys have all seen The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So the bit where Vizzini's saying, like,
Unfortunately.
yeah, well, there's a bit where Vizzini during the Battle of Wits, right after he's drank the poison, and he's like, "You've fallen, fool to one of the classic blunders, the most famous of which is never start a land war in Asia." That's a true thing. And the reason that's a true thing, and in this case, he's referring specifically to North Asia or Russia, the high steppes, that sort of thing, because every time anybody has ever invaded that, so it sucks there. And the people who live there are suffering already. And they don't mind a little bit more suffering if they can fuck your shit up too. So what they would do is they would burn their homes and their farms and their crops. They would slaughter all of their animals and destroy them. And then they would retreat deeper and deeper into Russia. And so your lines, the invading lines are getting longer and longer, which means that you have longer and longer supply lines, right? Eventually those are not going to be able to keep up with you. So you got to start living off the land. These guys left nothing to live off of.
Yeah.
And winter was coming to Russia. And this
Now you
happened to
said-
Napoleon. It happened fucking,
You said the steppes of Russia, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that where? Okay, just pop culture reference. Isn't that where the Kurgan is from in Highlander?
Yeah, he's one of the tribes that came from there. Yeah.
Okay.
There were actually a number of Slavic tribes from the area before it was consolidated.
Hey, love
into
it.
Russia by the
Hey,
Vikings.
what's up, love it? It was
Hey, love
great
it.
seeing you on Girls' Night on Inside the Booth. It was cool.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. That was fun too. That game was actually that was a lot of fun. And don't think that we weren't rooting for you all. Nomi recently joined the cast on my Friday show, and so I was just telling her she had to win to hold up the side, or I was going to kick her off the show.
Wow.
I was kidding, but I was just trying to put a little pressure on her. And all that. I don't remember who won. Was it Lovett who won? I think it was, wasn't it?
Probably. I don't know.
I think so. It was close. It came down to kind of like what?
Yeah, it was a sudden death. Yeah.
Yeah, it came down to a tie, and then it was sudden death, and I think Lovett actually pulled it out.
Well, she's pregnant. Well, she's pregnant now, so clearly she didn't. I'm just saying.
No, somebody else pulled it out. That's why she's pregnant.
Yeah. So, but yeah. You consider it a tie? Well, fair enough. It was well played on all sides.
There you go.
It was very, very fun. Got a little bit of word from Nomi. She is tied up with something else. She won't be able to join us today, but she does send her love to the chat and to the panel, and we'll see us next time. So
that's horse shit. Fuck her. No, just. Oh, I'm kidding. By the way, whoa!
I just that was out of left field, but all right.
No, I saw her. I saw her chat. I'm just talking.
Yeah.
Shit.
So
she's she.
Wow. It just there was some real fire behind that, Ryan. I'll tell you really feel.
Just talking shit. Well, ironically, yeah, I can actually be somewhat convincing when I need to be every once in a while. Too bad most Hollywood actors can't do that anymore.
Doozy voice.
Wait, what? Huh?
Doozy voice.
We're talking about the Maxnell?
That voice.
Oh, you're talking about this. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Sure, you're right. We're gonna.
That's right. Nomi can go fuck herself because sorry.
It's just
not as good as Squad. He's so good at it.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
it doesn't even come close.
All right, well, fuck you. All right.
Look, that's not a knock on you. He's just
I'm
awesome.
just
yeah, it's just amazing. Yeah.
I'm so bummed out. Yeah, you go. Yeah.
You're great.
And
that was Gary's Joker's impression of Gary from Nerdrotic.
What the fuck?
Wow.
Although, aren't you about the same age as him? He's like 52, 53.
Then we're right around the same age. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too funny. I know they keep calling him a boomer. Gary's not actually a boomer either. He's Gen X, but he's They keep calling them that. Because,
Yeah,
anybody
no.
who's older than they are is a boomer.
Yeah, no,
Pretty much,
my mom is a boomer who's in her 60s, and she were God bless her for not watching YouTube because she'll never see this. But yeah, my mom's a boomer.
Well, if I ever find out where she lives, I'll send her a copy.
I could send you the address. I'm not too concerned. I mean,
Oh, fair enough. I was just like, she don't think.
what are you gonna do? Burn it on a CD? She's like, the fuck can I do with this?
Yes, no, not even a CD. I'm gonna go all the way back to 3x5 floppies.
Oh God, I want to see this.
Oh my God!
Wow.
That way she's got to do some like archival, like archaeology
Jesus.
with technology to get it to work.
Do you know how many?
And it'll be super
floppies
disappointing
you would have
when
to
she
use.
Yeah, I do. It'll be super
Holy
disappointing
fuck.
when she finally gets that shit to play because it's nothing special.
Holy shit! I just you blew my mind thinking
I
about
thought
how
you
many
could-
3.5 floppy A's that would it take to fit one stream on all of them. Like you'd literally have to be like, like it would take like 10 or more.
Yeah, I was thinking
More
you were
than
gonna
that.
go even more old school and go VHS.
Because
what
the floppy A's
VHS
are
were about the same time period. More old school than that would be like Betamax or 8-track.
Oh yeah.
Although, if I wanted to be a real dick with obscure technology, I could just burn it onto a laser disc or 7. Because the compression rates on those were awful.
I know, right?
Like you'd take a 90-minute movie, right? And you'd have to put 45 minutes on each side of the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Zenny knows what I'm talking about.
Oh,
God,
goodness.
I actually kind of miss Laserdisc though, because if all else fails, you could use them as an offensive weapon. Well, they weighed like 10 pounds and they were made of metal.
Yeah.
You could cut a dude's head off with one.
Is that Chinese throwing star? No, it is disc.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty big disc. I mean, I imagine it probably wouldn't go very far if you hucked it, but whatever it hit would definitely know.
If you beam some dude in the right between the fucking eyes, man, that's gonna fucking hurt. Yeah, I do. I miss floppy disks. And not just because the obvious joke, be like, "Oh, Ryan's got a floppy disk."
He's looking for a drive port.
Well, we'll save the drive port for when I get back on the. I used to say the sane side of the country because Colorado's middle, somewhat
you're not gonna find
midwesternish.
No.
But no, I feel like
Colorado is California Junior.
Like I said, if it wasn't where I was moving to my hometown, which is not that way, I would not move back. But if I had to move back to Denver, I would rather put a gun barrel in my mouth in Minecraft.
I mean, you might find a more traditionally minded chick down in like Pueblo or Grand Junction or something. But in Pueblo, you also have to possibly contend with the fact that all of her brothers and uncles who are going to be gunning for you are also high-ranking cartel members. So.
Or she's going to be fresh out of prison when it comes to Pueblo.
Yeah.
It's the largest prison.
If you want a traditionally minded woman who doesn't have any tattoos, not the place.
Yeah, no, it's not.
especially if you really don't like teardrop tattoos by the eyes.
Oh wait.
If you want a more traditionally minded woman, you want to be on the other from this part of Vail to the Western Slope. You don't want to cross the Vail border because Vail, Aspen, stuff like that. Yeah, no. If Crystal G said, no, she said Grand Junction is decent.
Yeah, I know people in Grand Junction.
I think Glenwood Springs to like literally the edge of the state. So like Junction, Rifle, stuff like that is like the last bastion of sanity in that state.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want a traditional gal without tattoos, definitely don't come to my town. We have the most tattoo shops per capita in the country.
Also, it's really hard to tell which of them are actually gals.
That's true. Behemoth says Colorado better hold on to Lauren Boebert. I like Lauren Boebert. I don't understand the hate.
The hate doesn't come from the right.
No, I know. I mean, but I don't like. She's like what? Because she likes guns and
pretty much.
She pokes fun at Joe Biden. Like, dude.
Yeah, pretty much. They equate her to.
Gavin Newsom pokes fun at Joe Biden in his own little way.
Oh, by poking his wife, yeah. What do you think all those
Ugh.
secret meetings between Gavin and Jill Biden were about?
I'm not saying, but would it shock
He
me?
was
No.
definitely putting it to her because she's certainly not getting it from the corpse that's masquerading as the commander in chief.
Uh-uh.
Dr. Jill Biden is here.
That's YouTube. That's supposition on my part. I don't have facts to back that up. Please
No.
don't strike me for that. But let's face it, she's getting porked by Newsom.
Or she's getting porked by Kamala's husband, since they kissed on the lips at the State of the Union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing. I don't know that he would. I'm not 100% convinced that he can tell.
I didn't know either. Of course, I did. I wasn't like talking about the fact that I'm like, oh my god, yeah, it's so hot. Like I did not know that was a trans woman. Yeah. I didn't know. I didn't even pay attention.
I think.
Oh god, I remember
that now.
Wait,
and Az probably should have went with this defense that She-Hulk was so terrible that like it glazes over your mind and you're just like, yeah. So I mean,
I think he just owned up to the fact that he missed that.
Yeah.
Oh no, I do too. But no, I mean, it just
Cat looks lost.
I am completely lost.
What? Talk about
Az.
Yeah, because okay, so there
was an episode of She-Hulk where Jennifer is a bridesmaid, and the person playing the bride in that episode is a trans woman. And Az said she's hot.
Whoa.
He said she had a nice rack. He didn't say she was necessarily hot. He said nice rack.
Yeah, he was complimenting the boobs, and then later when it came out and all that stuff, he's just like, well, those are still nice boobs. The surgeon did good work.
Well, exactly. I mean, surgeons do boob jobs on women, and so
apparently men too.
Oh yeah, absolutely they do.
That cat's just squirming now.
I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah, no, I see what I see what Carrie said. Yeah, no, Blair White would be considered a trap too. Because
if you don't know what to look for, Blair White comes off very, very feminine.
Yeah, no, she's one of the few people that I could like. There a lot. Even Buck Angel to me comes across as slightly feminine. It may come as a surprise.
Dude has got fucking abs that I'll never.
No, it's not his appearance. It's some of the things he says that generally men don't say.
He sounds very effeminate in the sense that he sounds gay. But the fact that knowing that Buck Angel is an actual biological woman from birth,
yeah, no. See, but Blair White, I totally, absolutely could.
Yeah, no, Carrie, I agree with you. I think they mean a trap, as in like if they were not to be honest about who they were, you would be misled. But Blair is very, very open and honest
if you didn't know who she was or who he was and hadn't ever spoken with them and all that stuff and didn't have any idea, say you just ran into each other at the fucking mall or something and no words were exchanged, I could see how someone would be convinced because he puts the work in, and that kind of thing, which is fine, it's whatever. There was somewhere I was going with this whole thing, and now I can't remember what it was because I'm kind of thinking about Blair White's boobs. Awesome, thanks for that.
Looks like she has nice boobs.
I know.
I mean, I'm just saying that if she started an OnlyFans, I'd probably Google what her boobs look like.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Don't act like you wouldn't.
Okay, probably wouldn't. Although, right, I remember where I was going. So regarding Buck Angel, though, see, I've known who Buck Angel was for a long, long time, but not because of the activism.
Yes, Zillage, I really just said that.
I had a friend bring over this thing to our house, and he's like, hey, you guys all got to watch this. Just check this out. And we're just like, I don't know about this, because every time one of your buddies does this shit, especially when you're in your 20s, it's always a bad fucking idea. And in this case, it starts out, it's a porno, it's a normal thing, right? We're seeing but we're only seeing things from the top, right? From the waist up. right? And there's this man turns out to be Buck Angel, and this woman turns out to be someone else. And then it pans down, and the genitals are on the wrong bodies.
Yeah.
That was my introduction to Buck Angel.
I have not seen that, but I did get fooled by a buddy. We had like a group chat at my former job. We'd all like talk shit and send like, you know, offensive, you know, videos and stuff
Hey,
like
JT.
that. Gross stuff. Sent everybody a video, and it's like this beautiful looking woman. You know, literally has the hourglass curve, great boobs, great face, pans down. You know, you see the crotchal area, but you can't really, you know, just like you said, hourglass figure, great legs. All of a sudden, just kind of opens the leg slightly, just enough for a boing, and you're like, what the fuck? Yeah. So,
Yeah. So that's what there's a line. I keep bringing this series up because I love it. I realize most of the movies are garbage. It doesn't matter. Hellraiser 4, Bloodline. There's a scene with two twins. They're security guards, and they're walking along. And this is just before, of course, they get jumped by the Cenobites and mutilated into something else. But they're having a discussion actually about exactly this kind of thing. It's just like, you know, if you were out with, you know, with a chick who used to be a dude, would you, you know, go all the way? And if she was cutting all, and the guy's thought about it for a while, and he's like, oh, I guess if she was cutting all, you know, and it wasn't that big a deal. You know, this movie came out in the mid 90s, by the way. Nobody cared. It was a thing that happened in the movie. They weren't making fun of it. They were just discussing it. Had nothing to do with the, you know, scene prior to it or after. But yeah, it was just one of those things that came up that nobody cared about. Nobody made a big deal about. It's like, oh yeah, there are dudes who they're chicks who used to be dudes. It's a thing, you know, whatever. You know.
When they got to the kids,
Maybe don't put the beer goggles on. Is all.
you know, biologically, I mean, I'm okay. You know, if you feel that you were born in the wrong body, I would say seek help. And if you're, you know, if an actual licensed professional who's not pushing an agenda, you know, says, hey, you know what, you seem to be kind of have your wits about you, you you do you. I'm all about live and let live. Where I draw the line is where Kat drew the line of leave kids alone. That's going to be that's the hill I will die on, is
Same.
leave kids the fuck alone.
I think a lot of people are going to die on that particular hill.
Yeah, that seems to be the point of a bridge too far, and these weirdos are really pushing it.
I will say this though, it took, you know, this leave our kids alone, don't come after our kids. I'm glad y'all are waking up, but you're way past when you should have, because what do you think they've been doing for the last 100 years in the education institutions, in entertainment? They have been coming for your kids for 100 fucking years.
Yeah. Y'all are late to the party, which, I mean, look, that's fine. I mean, you know, late to the party is better than
I'm glad that people are waking up. I fear that we may be past the point of no return with this. Yes, some kids will be saved, but
and I have said that this was the one silver lining of the lockdowns is this mobile, is this remote learning where the mask finally came off.
Yep, agreed.
Zillage, I did actually see that clip. And yeah, first of all, I'm not convinced that the kid actually had DID, because that is extremely rare, despite what TikTok would have you believe. And it's contrary to what the movies tell you, they don't all talk to each other.
No.
You know, but if that was in fact the case, I could see how that chick could be very, very upset. You know, do you guys all know the thing that that Zillage is referring to here?
No, but I'm afraid.
Okay, so Brett Cooper, the Daily Wire, puts these little comment section clips out, you know, little shorts and stuff. And one of them,
I did see that.
Yeah, it involved a a girl who claimed to be DID, who had more male personalities than female, and the males were demanding that they transition, and they came to a vote and a consensus and all that stuff. And so she was crying her eyes out because she didn't want to do it.
That's called schizophrenia.
Yes.
Well, they don't call it that anymore, actually.
It's
I know.
But yeah.
Identity disorder.
Yeah, I know, but it's still fucking schizophrenia.
We used to call it split personality.
Yeah, split
Nobody says-
personality, schizophrenia. Yeah, dissociated identity disorder. Yeah.
There was a film starring Sally Field called Sybil.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
I mean,
the-
and then the thing is it does happen. I have met somebody and lived with somebody who had that thing. It does happen, but it is not as common as you might think.
No.
9 times out of the 10, the primary personality, the one who started out in there, is completely unaware of what the others are doing.
Yeah.
They tend to exist for a reason. It's not like suddenly you get, somebody moves into your head. Usually, like, your secondary is a protector type. And the reason for that is because something happened to that person when they were young that they could not deal with. So a part of their personality emerged that could deal with it.
Yep.
And did.
Yep.
And that's how this happens. They don't just occur. So, there's
They want mental disorders, which is insane. Nobody should want any of these. Even transgenderism is a mental disorder. And they
sorry, I thought you were done. My bad.
No, I'm good.
So I just want to quote a show that many people feel was very, very, very progressive at the time, and and it's led to a lot of stuff. The show Glee, the school guidance counselor, she was obviously she had severe OCD. Well, guess what? She goes and sees a therapist, and the therapist tells her, because she's been living like this for years. She's like, well, this is just how I am. This is how I'm supposed to be. And the therapist literally says, no, this is not how you're supposed to be. This is, this is preventing you from being who you're supposed to be. That's what medical professionals used to do.
Yeah.
Is say, no, there's something that's wrong. It's not your fault, but we can try to fix it. So let's fix it. And, and that's, and now mental illness is celebrated. It's like, oh yeah, it's so brave. Like, brave for what? You know what's brave is saying, hey, guess what? I'm a fucking alcoholic. I have a problem and I need to go to fucking meetings. And then you go to the meetings. Like, that's what you do. This is how it is. This is not how human beings are not supposed to be drug addicted alcoholics. They're not supposed to have schizophrenia. They're not supposed to have severe OCD disorder. Like, no, something in your brain chemically is broken.
Yeah.
My question then, I guess not question, but observation, is that what changed in the last 50 years? Because incidences of and I'm not speaking on any particular form of mental illness, but incidences on mental illness in particular have become increasingly public and increasingly proliferant.
Because they're easier.
It's like everybody's got something now.
You know what?
Because hold on real quick, Kat, because they're easy prey. And so the predators, these politicians, these media outlets, they all prey on them because they are useful idiots. And then as soon as they're done with them, they say, you know what? See ya. And they kick them to the side. And half the time you get people who blow
No,
their
on
own
top of
head
that, they've broadened the definition of mental illness, just as they broadened the definition of transgenderism, because transgenderism isn't non-binary. They've broadened the definition of mental illness. ADHD was rare. I mean, I went to school in Egypt for half a year. I can tell you, none of the third graders I went to school with had ADHD. The moment the teacher put their foot down, that was it. You sat down or you were going to get punished. Because they want to sell drugs. That's it. They want to give as many kids as possible ADHD medication. They want to give as many kids as possible as many drugs as possible.
Why is it that ADHD medication? They really like their serotonin, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. They really like their antipsychotics.
I know a guy who wanted to give his 5-year-old bipolar medication. Habibi, if your daughter who's 5 is behaving like she's bipolar, that means she's perfectly normal. She's 5. and you want to give her this messed up medication that will permanently affect her brain at the age of 5. And the thing is, on top of that, you know what I'll say? First off, what made it more prevalent, but not made it popular and cool, because for a while having a mental disorder and getting these drugs wasn't cool, was also the internet. Because the way to get attention on the internet is to be the biggest freak possible. I noticed it with like Ben Shapiro or something, where they were bringing up this person who was protesting Trump, and it was a black woman who was screaming about white supremacy, who had like her face painted white. She looked like a complete and total, I'll say it, like a total freak. And what did Ben Shapiro do? I can't remember who, it was someone from the Daily Wire. Focus on the lunatic. You want attention. You want your 15 minutes of fame. You don't do something amazing or cool like build a massive Lego city or do something amazing. No, you act like a fucked up freak. Why do you think you have that person who says she has 5 personalities, all of them men, saying she needs to transition, and we're talking about her? Because she's gone off the deep end even more. Each person, to get more attention, you have to go further and further off the deep end. Transgenderism is now eventually going to become, oh, you're transitioning? That's no big deal. Now it's going to have to be something freakier and more messed up so you can get even more attention. So that's why it's a thing. It's also the fact that we have a society of victims. Oh, well, it's not my fault. It's my autism. I had one person who was like, I transitioned to woman and then transitioned back because my parents were hard on me. I was raised in a strict Muslim family and I was gay. It's like, dude, you're blaming an entire religion. I have an idea. How about I transition to man so I don't have to wear the freaking hijab and then go, oh, well, it's not my fault.
Well, then you'll be a useful idiot because they're predators. It goes literally back to what I was just saying. It's all predatory behavior. The people who affirm this, because now it's called gender affirming care, they're predators. They're preying on children to be the useful idiots going forward.
But it's also what Kat says. You need compliance. You need your useful idiots dumbed down and under control.
Yep. That's why our school system it sucks.
Real quick, this is obviously from Kat's channel.
Right.
She's the only one here who's monetized, but yeah. And what he said, preach. And I'm gonna leave it up here a little bit because it flusters the shit out of Kat when she gets super chats.
Yes,
It's really funny.
Get me flustered.
Oh, I know.
Why?
Yeah, it's so flustered
Because she doesn't know how to handle it. It's funny.
I know.
We know. We talked about it last week.
I don't understand why. I don't do anything special. Why?
Just because you know what, you give them entertainment. That's why.
Just say thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. They would rather watch you and then say a Disney
The
movie
Flash.
or Netflix or the Flash.
I'm not even saying anything extraordinary. I'm just saying fact. It's obvious. This is what's going on.
Yeah.
You just look out the window. It's insane.
But no, I did miss that part of what Kat was saying. But yeah, it's these people are uneducated, and that's why our educational system sucks. So in math class, it was recorded by a student in middle school. They're showing a pride film of 2 lesbians kissing. It's math class. Maybe let's try to figure out, the square in the, pi r squared or some shit like that. Let's find the circumference of of the planet Jupiter, or the radius. Like, God. Yeah, he did. Oh, I wish I had a plot. Woo!
God damn it, Samuel! Thank you.
You're welcome.
So no, it's.
Oh, I know. In Cloud World sanity, it's
Yes.
crazy. That's why I stay crazy.
One other thing, though, that is very important is they need to, even with adults, tell them the results. Because I follow someone on Twitter who is a trans man. And at first, when I first saw this person's picture, I thought they were in their 30s, mid-30s minimum.
Who?
And then they said recently that they just celebrated their 23rd birthday. And I was like, my God. And they're like, I've been on T for 7 years. And I'm looking at this person, I'm like, this is what it does to a woman. I felt so bad for this kid.
Also, I do have a question. Why would any woman want to be a man? We're hairier, and we don't live as long.
No. Which is
Why?
Which is really why I questioned Ellen to Elliot Page. I'm like, you transitioned to a white guy in Hollywood? Oh, you just, I guess you don't want to work anymore.
And I don't understand why a man would want to transition to a woman. You're stronger, you're more powerful. You know what? Why
Get
would
laid
anyone?
anytime you like. That's why.
You got massive things sticking out of your chest.
You know why? Because again, and I go back to this all the time. Sports.
That's the. And
Because
then all the
guess
makeup
what?
and all. I mean,
They
I
get to
don't
go-
even like.
because that one swimmer nationally,
Yep.
he ranked around
407th?
yeah, nationally.
I don't know this Elliot you speak of. Did you mean Ellen?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? Transitioning did not do anything for Ellen. And this is not meant to sound harsh, but have you seen any picture of Elliot smiling?
No.
I've seen pictures of Ellen smiling. I
Mhm.
thought that it was supposed to make her feel better as a man, but I've never seen a picture of Elliot smiling.
Oh no.
So now
Also, is Elliot
screwed up.
on T? Because most guys on T at this point would have facial hair. No
Well,
facial
so
hair.
does
Ellen Page was taken advantage of severely by the system. And I think that she was very damaged by early experiences, and I don't think that this transition thing is really the solution, for that person or anything like that. I don't know what to say, because I think that Ellen Page is a fundamentally, in her core, unhappy person, and I think that I would have been the same whether she transitioned or not.
Correct. Now does that make his wife now straight?
No.
I forgot about that. Well, this is a perfect segue right here. And I know that I caught a little bit of grief last week but has anybody seen Dylan Mulvaney bleach their hair, their eyebrows? I know I showed it last week.
She might as well just shave the fucking things off.
Bleached everything, and literally is more rail thin than Brie Larson. And I have said for years that Brie Larson, I do not like her. Some of the opinions she said in the past, I don't like her politics. But you know what? She looks unhealthy, and Dylan Mulvaney is skinnier than she is.
Well, hey, Ryan,
hold on real quick. Because these corporations and these politicians use these people as useful idiots, and as shield say, well, if you don't, I didn't know that. That's Mexicans.
You know what? I think it's Lindsey Graham. I was listening to a video by Midnight's Edge, and they referred to another video that was talking about the whole ESG thing, and they were saying that he has a very interesting theory about Dylan Mulvaney. He calls him transfloid, and he thinks that the goal is to drive him to self-deletion, either by his own hand.
Statistic.
Yeah, no, but they are. I mean, think about it. This guy caused companies to lose billions. People who are LGBT are saying we can't get sponsorships because of Dylan Mulvaney. So they're thinking either they're going to drive him to self-deletion and then point to him and be like, see, we told you trans people kill themselves, or he's going to end up with 2 shots in the head from behind while hanging from a tree that's too high and the gun's 100 feet away.
In Minecraft.
And they're in there again going to be like, oh my God, that poor tragic
on
Dylan
the Billary
Mulvaney.
Server.
Clue.
Yeah.
Clue's right. He said that he's
What's up,
probably the trans Floyd, and then they're going to point to him because the guy is dying. The state he is in is horrific. There's just somebody needs to intervene and be like, what the hell are you doing? You're not eating. Blair White says if he's on estrogen, he would be gaining weight.
I will say that Beard of Liberty, first of all, welcome, and secondly, I actually agree with you on this. I got some flack from freaking Nina Infinity over this, but I think that part of the problem with the Dylan thing is because Dylan is very into the attention.
Very much so.
DM is an attention whore.
Yeah.
and always has always been looking for a way to get famous, to get internet famous, but not just for 15 minutes. And nothing worked until this transitioning shit.
Correct.
And you know,
He was a Broadway. He was a Broadway actor. He went on The Price is Right and made a complete fool of himself.
Yeah. And I think that that's all this has ever been is I want to be famous, and this is how I'm getting there. And you know what? As a capitalist, more power to him. It's working. He's clearly making bank off of this. He's clearly getting his name out there. People are not going to forget him. And so I get that, but that's all this has ever been for Dylan. And so when I said that, you know, the best thing we can possibly do is to stop retweeting his fucking face everywhere, because all you're doing is feeding him, and it's not damaging their movement at all.
Right.
You know, it isn't. It's just, you know, all you're doing is propping up him, which is what he wants. You know, just stop retweeting the guy's face everywhere. Stop paying attention to him. You know, that's how you make him go away, is you stop paying attention to him. Obviously, that doesn't fix the problems that we're all facing in regards to what we do or do not do with, you know, the rising tide of transness in the West. But in his case, I don't think he's serving their cause very well either.
No.
You know, he's just an attention horse. So yeah, we stop paying attention to him. That doesn't mean we stop fighting.
Correct.
End of rant.
Yeah, well, I noticed though people are talking about him less. Usually I would hear his name on most, like, I listen to a lot of the Daily Wire people, and no one has been talking about him. Every now and then they'll just be like, or the quartering, where they were like, yeah, remember the fiasco with, I like to call him Bobblehead, so I don't have to worry about YouTube getting pissed or anything. Bobblehead. He also looks like a bobblehead. But in general, I've noticed the amount of attention he's getting from oppositions. Like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's starting to lose views. I mean, I don't know. Social Blade is how you do it. I wouldn't be surprised if he's losing popularity.
Yeah. Well, no, he's got a legion of followers who are all very, very young, which is another completely, you know, that's a whole other problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
And honestly, I think that as these things go, I don't think that Mulvaney's, you know, predatory in that sense. Not really. I think that he's got that Michael Jackson shit going on, where he doesn't actually believe, you know, that he's as old as he is. You know,
that would explain why he, for example, hasn't gotten. I mean, I love how Christy Meyer put it. Why didn't he get breasts? He could easily have got. I mean, he's wealthy enough. Why hasn't he gotten the boob done?
Why has he still got his junk? Why doesn't he have a gaping, bleeding wound that he has to manually keep open and fucking?
Why isn't he on estrogen? Because everyone seems to think he's probably not on estrogen. Why isn't he on it?
No, he's not.
No, he isn't. Which is why I'm also questioning Ellen Page, because her voice would have deepened, and she would have started getting facial hair by now, and she doesn't have either. Even just a fringe of facial hair. She doesn't look like she's really. She just did the double mastectomy for attention.
Yeah. Well, and that's, I think it is. I think in Dylan's case, especially, it's just about attention. Yes, it's a little worrying that most of his audience is pretty young. But I think that there's probably less danger from him, aside from him setting a piss poor example, you know, which he is doing. But aside from that, I think there's a lot less danger from him than there are from some of these other TikTokers that I've been seeing who are saying, oh, okay, so for my kids who follow me out there, this is a safe place for you to go away from like adult eyes. I was like, no, that's fucking predatory is what that is. I don't think Dylan's predatory. I think he's wrong, but I don't think he's predatory.
I think he's the prey.
I'd agree with you 100% there. I think somebody did something to that kid.
Oh no, it's been documented that that he was the victim of stuff.
Yeah, at least he's not the, like I said, no, you're right. At least he's not the one dancing around showing off mastectomy scars like they're doing to little girls. They're having teenagers going, look, I just got my top surgery and it's wonderful. No.
Yeah.
No.
I think that he is Yeah, I think Ryan's absolutely right about that. I think he is very damaged.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I don't believe there's any malice behind him, at least not where his audience is concerned. I really don't.
No, I don't think when it comes to him either. But yeah, unfortunately, I think he's going to become another statistic, and unfortunately, it's going to be sooner rather than later. Because the spiral is very prominent.
Well, he's probably going to be transfluid. You ask me.
Yes.
If they were going to make an example of anybody in Minecraft, that's who.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's who,
And
because he's not a predator.
And then there's also what was it? Referring to Brett Cooper. Now there are copycats of Dylan as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
that was always gonna
somebody
happen.
just lining up to take his place.
Yeah, that was always going to happen, and it wasn't just him who said that. Now I can't remember who it was who said this, but yeah, somebody else had laid this out on Twitter like 2 months ago, and it was just like, no, this is what's going to happen: is we're going to have a series of these incidents, and it's going to, spark a series of violent responses, and it's just going to get bloodier, and then they're going to use this against all of us, trans and straight alike. Or trans and whatever. I'm not saying that other word. Cis is a slur.
Yeah, I'm not.
As far as I'm concerned. And also was made up by a guy who did horrific experiments.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, trans or otherwise, I think the whole like trans rights are human rights and gay rights are human rights. Look, the fact is they're human rights. You're human, you have those rights. You don't get extra rights any more than we get extra rights. Everybody's got the same rights.
Yeah.
I think that's as far as that needs to go. And I think that these draconian fuckers in charge are going to clamp down on everybody's rights, trans people included.
Yep.
I think we are all fucked if we continue down this path because we are allowing them to put us in a position where they can fuck us all.
Yeah.
So again, sorry. Getting off my soapbox now.
No, you're good, dude. I mean, this is what we do here. We have to talk about this crap because I'm sorry. So look, I had a lot of grievances with when Brie Larson shot her mouth off back in like 2018. Guess what? Brie Larson has shut the fuck up. But even in between, before she's decided to, with Fast X coming out and stuff like that, she has mellowed out massively. And I think that's also because she's now in her early 30s and she's a little bit wiser. I
think it's because her handlers have said shut up because you're damn Jane. What brand you have left?
I think that is somewhat part of it. However, the reason that I say this is because she's mellowed out massively. And she on the red carpet when John Cena was on the red carpet, she kind of like had like a sip moment. That's not what a brave woman would do. You know what I mean? So anyway, but JV and I'll probably disagree until we're blue in the face. Obviously, until the Marvels comes out, we'll see what's really going to happen. But I've been
get destroyed.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, what she says on press tour, but I've been critical of Brie Larson and how she looks for quite a while now. She looks ill, and I say the same thing about Dylan Mulvaney. I don't like the message he's putting out. I don't like what he's portraying, but he looks ill and he needs help. And quite frankly, that concerns me because I don't want to see any human being in jeopardy and I unfortunately think that said individual is going to be another statistic. We can fundamentally disagree, but I don't want to see harm to come to anybody.
Well then Ryan, then just tell Mr. Larson to give his wife a sandwich.
She needs more than a sandwich, man. She needs like one of them ice cream sandwiches, like 2 sticks of butter.
She could use an IV with just like pork fat drip.
Yeah. Bacon grease.
Yeah. This guy isn't eating at all. I mean, unless he has cancer.
Oh, you might have a tapeworm too.
Maybe.
if it gets big enough, it'll do that. You know, they pulled tapeworms that are like 50 feet long out of people's guts before.
Yeah, but that's not very common in America. And I highly doubt the multi-millionaire, billionaire.
Could be starving too. Who knows? You know, probably that's more likely what the case is. You know, a lot of these fancy diets that these people put themselves on, they're just like, oh yeah.
Robert Downey looks terrible.
For example,
oh my god,
that's because Robert Downey Jr. is slowly killing himself by not eating
the vegan diet.
You know,
Clue. Now you're talking. Yeah, little gumbo action there.
Yeah, well, maybe Zenny, you're probably like me because I remember you said something about you ride horses.
Okay,
Let's
not talk about cats' dietary habits, please. Again, it's just,
why are we talking about cats? What?
I'm just saying. I'm constantly moving.
Well, Chadwick Boseman, I believe, had stage 4 cancer, which would also eat away at your metabolism like that. Right. So, yeah.
Oh no, yeah, no. It literally it slowly kills your body from actually replenishing itself.
Yeah, and Carrie, while that is true, and I agree. I mean, he's getting up there. He's kind of wasted away in the last 4 years.
I don't want to use Vince McMahon as an example, but Vince McMahon is older than Robert Downey Jr. and he's in much better shape. Vince McMahon does not eat fucking vegan.
No.
And RDJ
he eats beefcake.
And his wife are very outspoken about their veganism because their green footprint or whatever it is. It's like it's like a charity
footprint bullshit.
So no, sorry.
That is their ESG score right there.
You are the carbon they want to reduce.
It's fine to each their own, but you know what? I will eat fucking meat until the day I fucking die.
Yeah, but there's going to come a point when you go down and you buy meat at the supermarket and you're going to take it home and you're going to cook it and you'll be like, God, this tastes a little off. And you're going to check it. And it's not off, but what it is not that it's gone bad, but that it was never good in the first place because it's cloned.
No. I'll go to a fucking butcher shop. I'll go to an actual legitimate butcher shop.
There's going to come a point where that won't even do it. We'll have to go out and hunt for ourselves.
Fuck you, Samuel!
No. Actually, go to a halal one.
I like how I yell "fuck you, Samuel," and he's just like silent. He's like,
no, because that way you look like a bigger asshole.
Which, well, everybody and on every channel we're streaming to knows that you're the bigger asshole.
This is true.
Let's be honest. Come on.
He's not wrong. I am. I'm a much bigger asshole than Ryan is. But he loves it.
Oh yeah, no, wait, what?
Latent gay.
I just said a thing. You agreed with it.
I'm afraid of what direction you might have meant that.
It doesn't matter now. You already agreed with it.
Yes, I know.
Halal bacon is not a thing.
No, it's not. Turkey bacon.
Turkey bacon is not bacon.
Turkey bacon is not bacon.
Turkey bacon is bacon like almond milk is milk. It's fucking not.
No, not.
Tastes good though.
It's still not bacon.
Wow, you are really? You ain't really?
Huh?
Oh, that's not right. Also says don't play the clip. So I mean,
the blue raz.
Yeah, you would be a little stretched out after that.
All right. Well, that one. Well.
And on that happy note, I think we may be coming to a close here soon. But before we go too much further, I would like to promote one little thing here. Just saying, vote for me because it couldn't be worse.
That's not saying much.
I
heard I scoop out of my cat's litter box.
Look, like I've been telling everybody, like I told JV backstage, I got as much chance as Mike Pence does.
So, like, Riding Raven, we had a discuss. We were talking about it on Twitter, and Riding Raven pointed out that to people like me and her, bacon smells disgusting, and it's actually nauseating because she's Jewish, so
Yeah, so you guys don't know what you're talking about then.
so it smells disgusting to us. It actually makes it nauseous.
Yeah,
So you guys are wrong. That's fine.
Just means that you don't have any idea what you're talking about because neither of you eat this stuff, so you wouldn't know.
Right.
I'd rather not.
It's so good. Oh my god.
Oh god.
Now I will
bad.
say that I draw the line at bacon flavored vodka. That's vile.
Oh,
what the hell?
It's not it's something that came a while back. They were putting out bacon flavored everything, and some idiot decided they were going to put it in vodka, and it was not good.
No. Roman.
Hey, Roman.
What up?
What's up? We're coming to a close. By the way, DM me on Twitter. I meant to get a hold of you earlier this week, and I spaced it. So if you contact me, I will be less likely to forget. No, because I'm terrible at organization.
Gay.
Yeah, a little bit. Yes, there is bacon flavored vodka. It's not. Don't drink. It's not good. It's very, very bad.
Why is there flavored vodka? Vodka's just vodka.
Well, because vodka by itself doesn't taste of much of anything besides liquid death.
Right. Well, okay, so the vodka just kind of it just takes on the flavor of the mixer. That's it. The reason they have flavored vodkas is so people like me can make nice girly drinks. So the girls that you all take out can get drunk and you get laid easier. That's why.
Yeah, he's definitely drunk because he's intrigued.
Yeah, that's what that's. They're basically a way to put the beer goggles on the girls.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
you get more attractive.
Which we had to explain to what beer goggles were to Kat earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, vodka isn't meant to taste like anything. That's because it's.
Oh, it tastes like something, and it's called ass.
Yeah, it's not good. Now, I suppose that depends on who made it, where it was from, that kind of thing. Because
grape.
American or Canadian vodka is fucking awful.
All liquor, it tastes like ass.
I mean, I'll agree with you there. I mean, alcohol in general tastes like poison. Because
it's poison.
It's an acquired taste, but some of it tastes more ass than others.
That's
for example.
That tastes like ass too.
JB, you run in alcohol circles with what you do for a living. Have you ever heard of a liqueur called Akvavit from Sweden?
I have not.
Don't
a little high end.
Stock it. Don't drink it. Don't have whatever. I used to work in a liquor store in Southern Wyoming, and we had the second largest collection of odd liqueurs in the state at the time. And somebody brought us in some Akvavit, and I took a bottle home with me because my roommate at the time was giving me shit about drinking at the time Budweiser, and this was like 20 years ago. Mostly because I don't like beer, so I just picked the blandest thing I could find. And later on, I started drinking this stuff called Czechvar from the Czech Republic, which is a whole other story. But I picked up this liqueur thinking, okay, well, he's giving me shit about this. We'll try this. This is foreign. This isn't American piss water, as he calls it. So we'll give this a shot. The name translates into water of life.
Oh, dear God.
Which means that it tastes like the blackest of tumorous and cancerous death.
Right.
And it does. And you can't mix it with anything to make it taste better. It only makes the other things that you mix it with taste worse.
It's impressive.
It is awful. And it's so... A buddy of mine came over. We couldn't get through. We couldn't get through the bottle. So we kind of, being dudes in our 20s, instituted a rule where anybody who came over and wanted to hang out had to take a shot, because that way we slowly got rid of the thing. And we had a buddy come over one time, and he took a couple of shots. Then he ate some scrambled eggs, and the next thing you know, he's horking them up, as you do. But they had changed color to black.
Oh, dear God.
Somewhere inside him due to that presence of that alcohol.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah, it was a bad news. Anyway, long story short, if somebody offers you Swedish liqueur and it's got some nice sounding name like Water of Life, don't fucking drink it. It's not good.
Not going to. Plus, that probably sounds a little. That probably sounds a little too high end for my bar. Anyway,
Also, at the same time, I would say don't drink something that has the name liqueur, because usually it's sweet and it sucks.
well,
Liqueur is just a
it's a fancy way of saying booze.
What is
it's-
it? What do they call amaretto? A liqueur. And amaretto is nasty as fuck.
when you say liquor, all liquor is an Americanized bastardization of the same exact word.
I
Right.
don't care. It's out when they say liqueur, it's always sweet, it's syrupy, and
All
it's
right, then go
nasty.
drink the Magvavit, because I trust me, it is anything but sweet and syrupy.
Thank you, Roman.
All right, well that's fair. I don't.
And by that I mean don't drink it because you'll die, because it will burn a hole right through you.
Okay,
you're
no,
right.
I believe you. But I'm
Now-
just saying, in my experience, whenever they say liqueur, sweet, syrupy, and you're Ralph.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of types of.
Thank you, Zenny. Thank you.
I mean, that's also
Some liqueur is
Right.
mostly the word has to do with pricing and the
Right.
which shelf it's on.
right. Exactly. I mean, a lot of stuff that you get, like your anise based stuff. That's your Jaeger, your Sambuca.
Yeah, Jaeger's
Those are
pretty
all-
sweet.
Dude, Jaeger is ass.
Yeah, it's sweet.
I
It's not
didn't.
good.
I
It's sweet,
didn't.
it's syrupy, and it's ass.
It tastes like NyQuil.
I know.
Yeah,
it's
it's a little more.
ass.
I think it tastes like
It's
black
because-
licorice, but
Well, yeah, because that's
That
anise.
too, ass.
That's anise, is what it is. But the booze world has now gotten into the really girly stuff where you got all like these, where you got like cinnamon Jack Daniels, or you got this Fireball, which is just red hots melted down. It's just liquid candy, which basically equates to a hangover.
Ass. So ass.
Okay, you be quiet. Oh, no, absinthe. Now that's
Oh.
I would be curious as to where you've had absinthe, because to the best of my knowledge, absinthe made with greater wormwood is still illegal to import into the United States, whereas lesser wormwood, they lifted the restrictions on that about 15 years
lesser.
ago.
That's
Yeah.
the stuff
Greater
you get
is
here
the
lesser.
when they talk about green fairy hallucinations, though, they're talking about greater wormwood, not lesser.
Yes.
Lesser just gets you drunk.
I
Yes.
had it in Europe, and I had a friend who
And that's
had
anise based too.
he had like a 16-ounce glass. He filled it that full, and the rest with Mountain Dew. He was everything is ass to Ryan. Thank you, Clue.
Samuel, do it. Play it.
I'm not
Play
going to
it.
play it again.
No,
I'm
don't
not
play
playing
it.
it again.
Play it.
I played it once. I don't play that one very often. 'cause it
Well, do
upsets
the
me.
gay one then. Do the gay one.
But the gay one I could do. Although he's not wrong. Everything is ass to Ryan. He loves him some ass.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women, sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
And now the latest the whiskey craze is this brand called Screwball, which is peanut butter flavored. whiskey.
Oh, God. Even I can tell that sounds disgusting. And I don't even drink.
We go through 2 bottles a week. Easy.
Oh, God. That sounds
You ever serve a
so-
cement mixer?
Yes. Dear God, why did you? Oh God.
I mean, I assume that at this
I have not-
reaction,
I
you've
have-
also had one.
No, I have not. I have seen the effects if someone doesn't drink it properly.
Wait, what?
And-
What? Now you got me curious.
So you know,
I've
little
made
known
it
fact.
in
There's a-
forever, but
Yeah,
it's a bomb drink. That
Yeah.
What is a
that-
bomb drink? Wait.
It's-
What's
drop a
It's-
thing into another thing.
Right.
Okay.
So you drop a shot into a larger glass, and it has a reaction. Well, the thing about this is you have to drink it really fast, but so the shot is a cream-based shot, which will curdle.
In the ghetto, it's just milk.
Yeah. Oh.
Alcohol makes milk curdle almost instantly. That's why they call it a cement mixer. If you don't
Yeah.
swallow it fast enough, it will
It's-
harden and fill up in your mouth and throat.
Oh dear God! Why?
It's just to fuck with new drinkers.
Yeah, oh God.
I don't like this conversation anymore.
I have. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is.
Y'all drink nasty ass stuff. All right. You know what? As somebody who was a former alcoholic, or it could be labeled as one, y'all drink nasty ass shit that I've never fucking drank.
Yeah. Well,
They'll say a severe alcoholic would literally drink anything to get their fix. No, not that. I'd rather stick my finger in my eyeball.
Yeah, cement mixer's pretty rough. It's not something that you encourage people to drink. That's something that you take somebody who it's their 21st birthday out and they don't know any better.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, thank you for making me feel glad I'm a Muslim who doesn't drink.
And then, but the mixer is after the 5 shots of tequila that they had earlier.
Yeah, so they're already getting ready to throw up as it is.
Yeah.
Roman, drinking lager on that is perfectly fine. If I was there, I'd drink a lager on your patio with you. That's super cool because you know what? It's not syrupy. It's not sweet. What?
Roman lives in California.
Oh God, Roman, get out of there, man.
He's behind enemy lines.
I can still visit California. Doesn't mean I'm a hostage there.
I don't know. From what I've heard, it sounds like a prison.
Yeah.
If you decide to live there, yes.
No, but you may not be able to get out.
Yeah, Beer to Liberty. I would be thankful too, but my buddies were all assholes. So, and honestly, I'm the kind of asshole to pay people back, and so I pulled some shit like that too.
I learned how to drink alcohol in the military at the age of 18 to 19 to 20, and trust me, there are things that I probably consumed that were horrendous.
Gasoline.
Yes, and absinthe was one of them.
Absinthe is yummy.
No, it's not.
You do it right.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No. Well, I don't like liquor, so. I don't consider absinthe liqueur because it's not fancy. It's just what the fuck did I do last night?
I don't know. I think that Ryan likes liquor just fine.
Mm-hmm.
That would be liquor.
Liquor in the front, poker in the rear. That's a standard bar, or something. No, me, don't watch this show.
Look how fast that shit goes. Look, I'll tell you what. I can chow some box.
Yeah. All right. And on that note, Ryan, what do you got coming up?
I did. Yes, I got it to end. On that note, what I got going on is tomorrow, myself, Horny Alf, Samuel will try to stop in if he can. We'll be reviewing Picard season 3, episodes 7 and 8. And then next weekend, we will be doing 9 and 10 to finish Picard. And that will then lead us into the following Sunday where we'll be starting the original Star Trek. Star Wars. God, doesn't make good Star Wars, and I can't tell you how long. Original Star Trek series the week after that. And then, of course, Monday night, Game of Thrones with Mr. Joker voice, who is the voice of logic and reason. And hopefully Tyler the Redbeard will be there because most likely there'll be Bob, Nomi, hopefully Mr. Grant Gregory can make it because he did say he's been working quite a bit, so that's why he couldn't. Shadow, whatever. And then of course after that, Friday night's Royal Rumble. Yes, indeed. Kat, you all right?
Yeah, I'm just checking. I'm just seeing you got.
It looked like I thought you were like doing the the ad
checking her schedule.
That's talking.
Something like that. Regarding the Sunday Star Trek show, I will not be there this weekend. I am out of state this weekend after tomorrow morning. You know why? So fuck you.
I know. I'm fucking with you.
And all that, but I will be back for the next week for the seasons or episodes 9 and 10 of Picard. Are you gonna just keep like needling at me like that? Is that what's gonna happen? Are we gonna do that?
I don't know. It's what happened last Monday night when we were talking shit and you're like going, I only hate you. It's like
Yeah, that was
fun. It was funny.
So and also though I believe Adam the Renaissance Nerd will be there as well. I don't know if you mentioned him.
No, I didn't. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah. And we might possibly have a fifth joining us at some point. I'm not sure if he's said yes or no yet, so I'm not saying his name yet, but
yeah, he should be joining us in the future, but right now, no. I think he might wait until after Picard. So
yeah. So, but in regards, that's the Sunday Star Trek show is going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge because it's Engage.
Yeah, Joker voice. What do you got going on?
See, tomorrow I am recording a review of The Flash with my friends over at Pop My Culture, which they will be dropping on the Monday. Monday, I will be doing last week's news now, and then, as mentioned, Game of Thrones simulcasting from my channel as well. Wednesday, I will be dropping my review of The Flash.
Yep.
Dear God in heaven. Thursday, I will be on with Static 2020, and I believe Wookie Be Bad over on his channel. Friday, I will be starting off with Secret Invasion, so we get to torment Kevin more.
Oh,
I love
God. No, I love that gag too, but
this game.
Secret Invasion, that's right.
And then Friday night's Royal Rumble, simulcasting from my channel as well. And I want to plug something. I left Sam a link in the private chat there. My new shirt design is on sale now at my the merch store. This is for a limited time only until July 15th. Go over to Mix Tees. If Sam could put the link, there we go. The link is in the chat at there. These are 100% of the proceeds are going to the Stuttering Foundation of America. So please grab a shirt, grab two shirts, grab a shirt for a friend.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, please do, because JV actually is raising money for this cause. Of course, he has a stutter himself, and
in case you hadn't noticed,
the fact that he is doing this, in my opinion, is absolutely incredible. There's a lot of people that we stream with, a lot of people in the fellowship and stuff like that, and this is a great cause, so please go do that. This shirt looks great, by the way. Great.
And by the way, that reminds, after the stream is over, I'll go back and I'll edit the description to add in the charity and the link to the description of this. It's also in the description of last night's show for Abyssal Musings, also on my channel. Kat, what do you have coming up?
Me? I will be live streaming tomorrow. I don't know yet. We might be doing some Warframe, some Diablo 4. I don't know. It depends on what Mugsy Kids is doing, because I know she mentioned she might be downloading Diablo 4. So I've been trying to figure that game out. I definitely not going to be.
Wow, Beak.
Wait, what?
Beak.
Wow.
Done. Damn.
If you were on Vets Talking, I'd have to take a shot.
You just short-circuited my co-host.
Yeah. Thank you.
Kat,
wow.
Just say thank you.
Thank you very much for the $20 super chat. Thank you.
Very good.
Tomorrow, like I said.
Good. Well done. There you go, Kat. That's how you do it.
Tomorrow, me and Mugsy Kids will either be playing Warframe with Behemoth and UA, or we might play some Diablo 4. See me make a mess of myself. On the other hand, there's no color coordination in Diablo 4, so I won't be torturing people's eyes with my near. Apparently, I'm colorblind, even though I'm not colorblind, but I can't mix colors. Thursday, I don't know yet. Shadow's working like 2 jobs, so it's really difficult. Maybe I'll try instead just live streaming on Thursday and doing a solo. I don't know. We'll see. Friday, Royal Rumble. Next Saturday, I'm back to live streaming again. heal afterwards. Apparently, according to Bugsy Kids, her eyes need to heal after what I did with my Warframe. I think it looks awesome. Apparently, I'm color deaf, according to UA and Zenny. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Color deaf?
Because I can see colors. I have an uncle who's an ophthalmologist. I mean, there's
But you
no
can't
way.
hear but you can't hear
I can't
colors?
mix colors.
Wait, are you talking about you can't see like the numbers or letters?
No, I
and
can
like-
see the numbers. No, they're saying that my color coordinating skills are an abomination.
Oh,
An abomination
God.
of an.
Well,
okay.
so what you're saying is
That's not a thing.
is you have no fashion sense.
Yeah.
Yes, apparently.
The reason I say this is because I'm actually red green colorblind, like legitimately. I'm red green colorblind.
No. So apparently, yeah, that's my problem with colors.
Yeah, it's called tone deaf.
Only with colors.
It's bad fashion sense. It's
Fucking women.
wow. Whoa, Mug. Holy crap, Mugsy. Jesus.
I mean, that's
Yeah, apparently.
it is what it is, I guess.
Wow.
You know, if it's my ex-wife and she's been eating ice cream and she's extremely lactose intolerant, it comes up right away and it comes up like all the colors of the rainbow, like bright,
come on,
bright,
man.
like a unicorn vomited.
Oh,
Like
it's
sherbet.
oh, it's because
Yes,
Samuel is
exactly.
wait, Samuel somehow typed as me.
Oh no, that's because I put it in through StreamYards, and so because
Which
Yeah.
you were right. You wrote strange words.
I was agreeing with Behemoth. He was doing a cheers thing, so I said Nostrovia, which is cheers.
Leave it to the Middle Eastern woman to not understand technology.
Right.
What does it have to do with technology?
Wait, what happened? Oh, see ya.
Did you just insult the Middle Eastern woman? You should know better than to insult Middle Easterners.
Yeah, they'll bomb the shit out of you.
Yes.
Fuck it, bring it on.
All right. So that said, I'm Samuel Infamous. This is the show is on my channel. We are simulcasting to a bunch of different channels and Ryan's Twitter, which I need to figure out how to do that myself.
Same.
I told you guys how to do it.
I know. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Yeah.
It's easier to make myself sound like an idiot than lazy.
You are being lazy.
I am being lazy. That's why I said I was an idiot instead.
Too late.
My Warframe looks awesome.
All right,
Anyway.
now end the show.
We're
Let's move
getting
on.
there. Yeah. So we'll see you all next time. Remember, it could always be worse. It could be rain and flaming cobras.
Toodles.
Good night, everybody.
Save the right for screen.
Well, I say every day.